Make it fast. I don't want the boss to get wise when he's got one of his tightwad buns on. Jeez. Ain't the old bastard a riot when he starts that bull about turning over a new leaf? Not a damn drink on the house, he tells me. And all these bums have got to pay up their rent beginning tomorrow, he says. Jeez, you think he meant it?
I'll be glad to pay up. Tomorrow. And I know my fellow inmates will all promise the same. They have a touching credulity concerning tomorrow. It'll be a great day tomorrow. The Feast of All Fools with brass bands playing. Why, their ships will come in loaded to the gunwales with canceled regrets and promises fulfilled and clean slates and new leases.
Yeah, and a ton of hop.
Don't mock the faith. Have you no respect for religion, you unregenerate wop? What's it matter if the truth is that their favoring breeze has the stink of nickel whiskey on its breath, and that their sea is a growler of lager and ale, and that their ships are long since looted and scuttled and sunk on the bottom? The hell with the truth. Why, the history of the world proves that the truth has no bearing on anything. It's irrelevant and immaterial, as the lawyers say. It's the lie of a pipe dream that gives life to the whole misbegotten mad lot of us, drunk or sober. And that's enough philosophical wisdom to give you for one drink of rotgut.
The old philosopher, like Kiki calls, ain't you? I suppose you don't fall for no pipe dreams.
I don't. Mine are all dead and buried behind me. What lies before me is the comforting fact that death is a fine long sleep, and I'm damn tired, and it can't come too soon for me.
The old anarchist wise guy that knows all the answers. That's you, huh?
You can forget it about the anarchist part of it. I'm through with the movement long since. I saw that men don't want to be saved from themselves because then they'd have to give up greed, and they'll never pay that price for liberty. Ain't I right? Comrade Hugo.
Oh, Christ.
Am I telling the truth?
Don't get that bughouse bum started.
Captain swine, first class stool pigeons. Has the slaves no right to sleep even? Hello, little rat. Little monkey face. How are you, little slave girl? Don't be a fool, damn bourgeois. Buy me a drink.
He's out again. He's lucky no one takes his crack serious, or he'll wake up every morning in a hospital.
No one takes him seriously. That's his epitaph. If I'm through with the movement long since, it's been through with him, and thanks to whiskey, he's the only one who doesn't know it.
I've let him get by with too much. He's gonna pull that slave girl stuff on me once too often. And you think I was a pimp or something? Everyone knows me, knows I ain't. A pimp don't hold no job. I'm a bartender. Them tots, Margie and Pearl, they're just a sideline to pick up some extra dough. Strictly business, like they was fighters and I was their manager, see?
A shrewd businessman who never misses an opportunity to get on in the world. That's what I'd call you, Rocky.
Sure thing, that's me. Grab another ball, Larry. You'd never think all these bums had a good bed to go up to upstairs. Scared if they hit the hay, they wouldn't be here when Hickey showed up and miss a couple of drinks. That's what kept you up too, ain't it?
It is? Not so much in the hope of booze, if you can believe that. I've got the blues. And Hickey's a great one to make a joke out of everything and cheer you up.
Yeah, remember how he works up that gag about his wife when he's cockeyed, crying over a picture, and then springing it on you all of a sudden that he left her in the hay with the Iceman? I wonder what's happened to him. You could set your watch by his periodicals before this. Always got here a couple of days before Harry's birthday party. Now he's got till midnight to make it. And I hope he shows up soon. This dump looks like the morgue with all these bums passed out.
The lie! Papa! Papa!
Poor devil. The hell with pity. It does no good.
Dreaming about his own man. From what the old-timers say, the old gent sure made a pile of dough in a bucket shop game before the cops got him. Jeez, I've seen him bad before, but never this bad. Look at that get-up. I ain't seen no one so bad. Except Hickey on the end of a couple of his bats.
It's a great game, the pursuit of happiness.
Oh, it's a damn lie! Hey, you! Nick! Get out the door!
Hey, who's that yelling?
Willie, boss, the Brooklyn boys is after him.
Give the poor guy a drink and keep him quiet. Can't I get a wink of sleep in my own back room?
Listen to that blind-eyed default bastard, will you? They give me strict orders not to let Willie hang up no more drinks, no matter what.
What's that? Can't hear you.
You're a cockeyed liar. Never refused to drink to anyone who needed it bad in my life. Told you to use your judgment. Ought to know better. You're too busy thinking up ways to cheat me. Oh, I ain't as blind as you think. I can still see a cash register, Eugene.
Oh, sure, boss. Well, chance fooling you.
I'm wise to you and your sidekick, Chuck. Eugene, you're burglars, not barkeeps. Blind-eyed default bastard, am I? I heard you open when you didn't think. You and Chuck, laughing behind my back, telling everyone how you throw the money up in the air. What sticks to the ceiling's my share. Fine couple of crooks. Gee, you'd steal the pennies from your dead mother's
Oh,
eye.
Harry, me and Chuck was only kidding.
I'll fire the both of you. But gee, if you think you can play me for an easy mark, you came to the wrong house. Nobody ever played Harry Hope for a sucker.
No one but everybody.
Well, at least you could try and keep things quiet.
Give me a drink, Rocky. Harry said it's all right.
Well, then grab it. It's right under your nose. When? What? I didn't say take a bath. Gee, he's killed half a pint or more.
Well, leave him be, the poor devil.
Right by me. It ain't my booze.
Who's booze? Give me some. I don't care. Where's Hickey? Ain't he come yet? What time is it, Rocky, huh?
Getting near time to open up. Time you begun to sweep up in a bar.
Oh, if Hickey ain't come, it's time Joe go back to sleep again. I was dreaming that Hickey come in the door, cracking one of them drummer jokes. And he was waving a big bankroll, and we was all gonna be drunk for 2 weeks. Wake up, no luck. Oh, hey, Larry, how about that young guy Parrot come to look you up last night? Where's he at?
He's up in his room asleep.
Oh, he had a roll on him when he paid you his room rent, didn't he, Rocky? I seen it.
Yeah, he flashed it like he forgot and then tried to hide it quick.
Oh, he did he?
Yeah, I figured he don't belong. But he said he was a friend of yours.
Well, he's a liar. I wouldn't know who he is if he hadn't told me. His mother and I were friends on the coast years ago. Oh, you remember reading in the paper about that bombing on the coast where several people were killed? Well, the only woman they pinched, Rosa Parrott, is his mother. They come up for trial pretty soon. There's no chance for them. She'll get life, I think. I'm telling you this so that you'll know why Don acts a bit queer and not jump on him. Must be hard hit. He's her only kid.
Why ain't he out there sticking by her?
I don't know anything about it, and I don't want to know. To hell with the movement and all connected with it.
If there's one thing more than another I care nothing about, it's that sucker game you and Hugo call the movement. Hey, that reminds me of a damn fool argument me and Mose Porter had the other night. He was drunk and I was drunker. He says socialists and anarchists, you ought to shoot them dead, they all know good bastards. I said, hold on. You talk as if socialists and anarchists is the same. They is, he said. They both know good bastards. Oh, no, they ain't, I said. I'll explain you the difference. Now, you see the anarchist, well, he never works. He drinks, but he never buys. And if he ever gets a nickel, he blows it on bombs. Wouldn't give you nothing. So you go ahead and shoot him. But the socialist, sometimes he gets a job. And if he gets $10, he is bound by his religion to split it with you 50-50. You say, how about my cut, comrade? You get your 5, so you don't shoot no socialists while I'm around. That is, not if they got anything. Of course, if they broke, then they no good bastards, too.
He's your guy, Larry.
Hello, Larry. Hello.
What's up? I thought you'd still be asleep.
I couldn't make it. I got sick of lying awake.
Well, sit down and join the bums, then. Oh, the rules of the house are that drinks may be served at all hours.
Oh, I get you. But, hell, I'm just about broke. Oh, I know. You guys saw you. You think I have a role, don't you? Well, I don't. I'll show you. See, it's all ones. It's all I've got to live on until I can get a job. You think I fixed up a phony, don't you? Well, you're lucky in the movement if you have enough to eat.
What's the song and dance about? We ain't said nothing.
Well, I just don't want you to think that I'm a tightwad, that's all. All right, I'll buy you a drink if you want one.
Yeah. Oh, man, when I don't want to drink, call them all. Bring the bottle quick, Rocky, before he changes his mind.
I'll take a cigar when I go in a bar. What do you have?
Nothing. I'm on the wagon. What's the damage?
15 cents.
Must be some booze.
It's cyanide cut with carbolic acid to give it a mellow flavor. Here's luck.
I guess I'll get back to the bar. Catch a couple of winks before opening up time.
One drink guy. That well done run dry. No hope till Harry's birthday party. Less Hickey come. Hey, Larry, if Hickey comes, you wake me up if you got to bat me with a chair.
Who's Hickey?
Oh, he's a hardware drummer, friend of Harry's and all the crowd here. He's a grand guy. He comes here twice a year regularly to go on a periodical drunk, and he blows in all his money.
Sure must be hard up for a place to hang out.
Oh, it has its points for him. He never runs into anyone he knows in his business here.
Yes, that's what I want, too. Boy, I've been to some dumps on the coast, but this is the limit. What kind of a joint is this, anyway?
What is it? Why, it's the No Chance Saloon. It's Bedrock Bar, the end of the line cafe, the bottom of the sea rascaller. And nobody here worries about where they're going next because there's no farther they can go. Don't complain about this place. You'll never find a better. For lying low, you're safe here.
Gee, Larry, I was sure glad to find you. I kept saying to myself, if only I can find Larry. He's the one guy in the world who could understand.
Understand? What?
Well, all I've been through. I've never forgotten you, Larry. You were the one friend of Mother's who ever paid any attention to me, or even knew I was alive. Hey, you remember you used to take me on your knee and tell me funny stories and make me laugh? You'd ask me questions and take what I said seriously? I guess I got the feeling in the years that you lived with us that you had taken the place of my old man. Hell, that sounds like a lot of mush.
How is it that they didn't pinch you when they got your mother and the rest?
I wasn't around. As soon as I heard the news, I went right under cover.
Now, the papers say that the cops got them all dead to rights. Now, someone in the movement on the inside must have sold out and tipped them off.
Yes, I guess that must be true, Larry. It hasn't come out yet who it was. It may never come out.
I'd hate to think it of any of the old crowd. Oh, they're all damn fools. I know that, most of them. They're as greedy for power as the worst capitalists they attack, but I'd swear there wasn't a yellow stool pigeon among them.
Yes, I'd swear that too, Larry.
Oh, I hope he rots in hell, whoever it is.
Yes, so do I.
How did you locate me?
Mother, I found out where she had hidden your letters in her flat, and I snuck up there one night right after they made the arrest.
Never would have thought she was a woman to save letters.
Oh, it's funny how Mother kept in touch with you for so long. When she's through with anyone, she's finished. She's always been real proud of that. made you leave the movement, Larry? Was it on account of Mother?
I'll be a damn fool. I had a lot of good reasons. Myself, for one. Another one was my comrades, and the last, the breed of swine called men in general. As for myself, I was forced to admit after 30 years' devotion to the cause that I was never made for it. I was one of those born condemned to be... to one who sees all sides to every question. When you're damned like that, the questions multiply for you until in the end it's all questions and no answers. To be a worldly success at anything, especially revolution, you have to wear blinders like a horse and see only straight in front of you. You have to see that this is all black and this is all white. As for my comrades in the great cause, I felt about them as Horace Walpole did about England, that he could love it if it weren't for the people in it. Well, at any rate, you can see that it had nothing to do with your mother.
What have you been doing all these years since you left the coast, Larry?
Nothing that I could help doing. If I don't believe in the movement anymore, I don't believe in anything else either. I'm a philosophical old bum, and I'm proud of it. Now, you listen to me. I hope you've deduced that I have my reasons for answering the impertinent questions of a stranger, and that's all you are to me. I have a feeling that you're looking for the answer to something from me. Well, let me warn you right at the start, so there won't be any misunderstanding. I have no answer for anybody for anything, not even myself. Unless you can call what Heine wrote in his poem to morphine an answer. Lo, sleep is good, better is death. In sooth, the best of all were never to be born.
That's a hell of an answer. Still, you never know when it might come in handy.
I don't suppose you had much chance to get any news from your mother since she's been in jail.
No. No chance. Anyway, I don't think she wants to hear from me. See, we had a fight just before that business happened. She bawled me out for going around with tarts. That got my goat coming from her. She said I was losing interest in the movement, and that I was paying too much attention to outside things.
Were you?
The days grow hot, oh Babylon. Just cool beneath thy willow trees. Rotten damn stool pigeon.
What? What are you talking bum? You can't call me that.
Hello, little man. Little monkey face. I did not recognize you. You're a grown big boy. How's your mother? Where you come from? Don't be a fool. Tell me a dollar. Buy me a drink.
Passed out again. Oh, I should have remembered. Whenever Hugo gets soused, he calls everybody a stool pigeon. Well, I've always had a lot of respect for Hugo. I always stood up for him when people in the movement panned him for no good drunken has-been. He had the guts to serve 10 years in the can in his own country and get his eyes ruined in solitary for what he did. I'd like to see some of them stick that. Well, tell me some more about this dump, Larry. Who are all these tanks, anyway? How about that guy over there trying to catch pneumonia?
Oh, that is Captain Lumet, a one-time hero of the British Army. He strips this way to display the scar that he got from a native spear when he's completely soused. The whiskey bloke opposite him here is General Wetcher. The two of them met when they went to work in the Boer War spectacle in the St. Louis World's Fair, and they've been bosom pals ever since. They dreamed their hours away in happy dispute over the great days in South Africa when they tried to murder each other. A little fellow back here, he was there too, correspondent for a British newspaper. Our nickname for him here is Jimmy Tomorrow. He's the leader of our Tomorrow movement.
Well, what do they do for a living?
Oh, as little as possible. They live on free lunch, and their old friend, Harry Hope, who doesn't give a damn what anyone does or doesn't do, as long as he likes you.
It must be a tough life.
Don't pity them. I won't thank you for it. They manage to get drunk by hook or by crook and hold on to their pipe dreams, which is all they ask out of life. It isn't often that a man attains the true goals of his heart's desire. That goes for Harry Hope, too. He's so satisfied with life that he hasn't set foot out of this place since his wife died 20 years ago. He has no need for the outside world at all. This place does a fine trade from the marketplace across the street to the dock workers. So in spite of Harry's great thirst and his generous heart, he comes out even. He doesn't have to worry about hard times because of his old friends when he was a jitney Tammany politician. Don't ask me what his two pals work at, because they don't. Except at being his lifetime guest. The one facing you is his brother-in-law, Ed Mosier. He used to work for a circus in the ticket wagon. The other one's Pat McGloin, a police lieutenant. He got too greedy, and when the usual police investigation came along, why, he was caught red-handed and thrown off the force. Joe back there, he ran a colored gambling house then. He was a hell of a sport, so they say. Well, that's our whole family circle of inmates, except for the two barkeeps and their girlfriends. 3 ladies of the evening who room on the 3rd floor.
Why, omit me from your who's who and dipsomania, Larry. An unpardonable slight, especially as I'm the only inmate of royal blood. Educated at Harvard, too. You must have noticed the atmosphere of culture here. My humble contribution. Yes, generous stranger. I trust you're generous. I was born in the purple. The son, but unfortunately not the heir of the late world-famous Bill O'Ban, king of the bucket shops. A revolution deposed him, conducted by the district attorney. In fact, not to mince matters, they locked him in the can and threw away the key.
The stock lock? No, I never heard of him.
Never heard? I thought everyone in the world. Why, even at Harvard, I discovered my father was well known by reputation. I was accepted socially with all the warm cordiality that Henry Wadsworth Longfellow would have shown a drunken negress dancing the can-can at high noon on Brattle Street. Harvard was my father's idea. He was an ambitious man, dictatorial too, always telling you what was best for me. I was a brilliant student at law school. My father wanted a lawyer in the family. He was a calculating man, a thorough knowledge of the law close at hand in his house to help him find fresh ways to evade it. But I discovered the loophole of whiskey and escaped his jurisdiction. Speaking of whiskey, sir, reminds me, and I hope reminds you, that when meeting a prince, the customary salutation is, what did you have?
Oh, you guys seem to think I'm made of dough.
You don't have the thirsty look of the impecunious. Let us ignore this useless youth, Larry. Let us join in prayer that Hickey, the great salesman, will soon arrive, bringing in the blessed bourgeois long green. Would that Hickey, your death, would come. Meanwhile, I will sing a song. A beautiful old New England folk ballad I picked up at Harvard amid the debris of education. Jack, oh Jack was a sailor lad, and he came to a tavern for gin. He rapped and he rapped with a... but never a soul seemed in. There was a legend bruited about in Cambridge lavatories that Waldo Emerson composed it during his uninformative years as a minister while trying to write a sermon. He rapped and tapped enough to wake the dead till he heard a damsel on a window right over his head.
Rocky, can't you keep his crazy bastard quiet?
Oh, and now the influence of a good woman enters our mariner's life. Well, perhaps good isn't the word, but very, very kind. Oh, come up beside my sailor lad, and you and I'll agree, and I'll show you the prettiest that ever you did see. You see, Larry, the new Puritan touch, obviously, and it grows more marked as we go on. He put his arm around her. Yeah! How do you think this stuff is? A dump? Come on, bum! Rocky. I'll go crazy in that room with all this orders. Harry, I'll be quiet or stay here.
Rocky, I didn't tell you to beat the poor guy up. Leave him alone if he's quiet.
Harry. Thank you, Harry. You're a good sport.
Good heavens, have I been drinking at the same table with a bloody Kaffir?
Oh, hello, Captain. You coming up for air? Kaffir? Who's he?
Kaffir?
Kaffir? That's a nigger, Joe. That's a joke on him, Joe. He don't know you. The poor bloody limey, he's still blind drunk. Yeah. Great mistake. I missed him at the Battle of Mother River. You know, with my rifle, I shoot plenty of foolish, limey officers. But him, I missed him. The pity of it. You Caesar, wake up, you bloody fool. Don't you know your old friend Joe? He's no damn Kaffir, Joe is. He's white.
My profound apologies, Jason, old chum. The eyes was a trifle blurry, you know. Well, you're the whitest colored man I ever knew. I'm proud to call you friend. No hard feelings?
Oh, no, Captain. I know it's a mistake. You's regular, even if you is a limey. But I don't stand for no nigger from nobody. In the old days, people called me nigger, wakes up in the hospital.
Yeah. In the old days in the Transvaal, I was so tough and so strong, I grabbed by the axle an ox cart with a full load and lifted like a feather.
Yes, and as for you, my Barbie Boa that walks like a man, I say again it was a grave error in our foreign policy ever to let you go once we'd nabbed you. You should have been taken straight to the London Zoo and incarcerated there with a sign, "Spectators may distinguish the true baboon by his blue behind."
Mingot, when you think 10 better limey officers I shoot right in the middle of the ford at the Battle of Spionkopje, and him I miss. I never forgive myself.
Oh, Cecil, come now, please. We must forget the war. War in Britain, each fought fairly and played the game till the better man won, and then we shook hands. We're all brothers within the empire, united under the flag on which the sun never sets. Ship means somewhere east of Suez.
You're there already, Jimmy. Worst is best here, and east is west, and tomorrow is yesterday. What more do you want?
Tomorrow, yeah. It's high time I got straightened out and down to business again. Let's have this suit cleaned and pressed before I go up there to see this man. I don't want to look like a
Fred, white folks always said I was white. Well, look at the big chief in them days. He knew I was white. Well, I'd saved up enough money to open my gambling house, and folks in the know, they say, see the man at the top, you don't have no trouble. Get Harry Hope to write your letter to the chief. And Harry does, don't you, Harry?
Oh, sure. Big Bill was a good friend of mine. I had plenty of friends high up in those days. Still could have if I wanted to go up and see him. Sure, I wrote you a letter. Said you was white. What the hell of it?
There you see, Captain. I went to see the chief shaking in my boots. There he was sitting behind this big desk, looking like a big freight train. He don't look up. He just keep me waiting and waiting. And then after what seemed like about an hour, he says in a voice slow and quiet, like there wasn't no harm in him. So you want to open a gambling joint, do you, Joe? But he don't give me no time to answer. He jump up, looking like two freight trains, and he pounds his fist like a ham on the desk, and he shouts, "You black bastard, Harry says you's white, and you better be white, else there's a little iron room up the river waiting for you." and then he sits down, and he says slow and quiet again, "All right, you can open. Now get the hell out of here." So I open. And he finds out I'm white sure enough. 'Cause I run wide open for years, and I pay my sugar on the dot, and the cops and me, we stays friends. Them old days. Is the night I come in here. Oh, this place.
This place was a first-class hangout for sports in them days. Good whiskey, 15 cents. 2 for 2 bits. I throws a $50 bill down like it was trash paper, and I says, drink up, boys, I don't want no change. Ain't that right, Harry?
Yes, and BG, if I see you throw 50 cents on the bar now, I'd know I had the delirium trimming.
Thank you, Harry, old chum. I will take a drink with you now that you mention it, since it's so near your birthday.
What's that? Can't hear you.
No, I imagined you wouldn't.
I don't have to hear you. How much room rent do you owe me? Tell me that.
I'm sorry, Harry. Adding has always baffled me. Subtraction is my forte. What?
Oh, think you're funny, eh? Captain BG, showing off your wounds. Put your clothes on, man. This ain't a Turkish bath. Lousy, limey army. Took 'em years to lick a gang of Dutch farmers. That's right, Harry. Give 'em hell. Don't let out of you Dutch spinach. General. Salvation Army you want to be general in. Bragging what a great shot you were. And you missed him. And he missed you. And now the two of you bum on me. But you broke the camel's back this time. You'll pay up tomorrow, or out you go.
My dear fellow, I give you my word of honor as an officer and a gentleman, you will be paid tomorrow.
That's right, Harry. Tomorrow without fail, we swear.
There you are, Harry. Sure, what could be fairer than that?
Yeah, you can't risk more than that, Harry. You know, promise is a promise, as I've often discovered.
And I mean both of you, too. An old Grafton flatfoot and a circus bunco steerer. Fine company for me, BG. A couple of con men living in my flat. And you ain't even got the decency to take me upstairs, where I got a good bed. Let me sleep in the chair like a bum.
Harry, Ed and I did our darndest to get you up, didn't we, Ed?
Yeah, we did. But you said you couldn't bear the flat because it was one of those nights that memory brought poor dear old Bess back to you.
Aye, that's right, boys. I remember now. I could almost see her in every room, just as she used to be. And it's 20 years since she...
Isn't a daydream of yesterday a touching thing? By all accounts, Bessie nagged the hell out of it.
I found my stuff loafing around. Gotta get my shoes soled and heeled and shined first thing tomorrow morning. I don't want to look like a tramp.
Moral movement is a sad and beautiful thing, too.
Poor old Bessie. You don't see her likes these days. Sweeter woman never drew breath.
Dear old Bess. Yeah, a man couldn't want a better sister than she was to me.
20 years. And I've never set foot outside this house since the day I buried her. I didn't have the heart. Once she'd gone, I didn't give a damn about anything. I lost all my ambition. Without her, nothing seemed worth the trouble. You remember, Ed? And you too, Mac. The boys was going to nominate me for alderman. Oh, I'd have been elected easy.
Oh, you would, Harry. It was a sure thing.
Yeah, it was a dead cinch, Harry. Everybody knows that. Huh?
Sure they do. But when Bessie died, I didn't have the heart. Still, I know that while she'd appreciate my grief, she wouldn't want to have me cooped up here all my life. So I've made up my mind. I'll go out soon, take a walk around the wards, and see the friends I used to know. Maybe get together with the boys, tell them I let them deal me a hand in their game again. Gee, I'll do it. Tomorrow, my birthday. That'll be a good day to turn over a new leaf. 60? That ain't too old.
It's the prime of life, Harry.
You know, a wonderful thing about you, Harry, is that you keep as young as you ever was.
I gotta get my stuff out of the laundry. They must still have them. I want to make a good appearance, you know. Oh, I met Dick Trumbull on the street a year or two ago. He said to me, Jimmy, the drugstore department hasn't been the same since you left. It's dead as hell. I said, I know, Dick. I hear the management's at their wits' end. Be only too glad to have me come back and run it for them again. I think all you can do would be go up and see them, and they'd give me the position. Don't you think so, Dick? He said, sure they would, Jimmy, only Take my advice and wait until business conditions are better. No, conditions must be better by this time. All I need to do is get fixed up with a decent front, and it's as good as done.
Yeah, I'm sorry we had to postpone our trip again this April, Piet. I had hoped the Blasters' estate would be settled up then, but anyway, we'll make it next year, boy, even if we have to work and earn our passage money, huh? Oh, England, in April.
Happy gee, Jimmy's got them all smoking the same hop.
Yeah, bughouse will drive me stark raving loony yet.
Oh, the old wise guy. Wise hell. No good anarchist I won't work her. I'm sick of you, and you go too. You'll pay up tomorrow, and I'll start a Harry Hope revolution. I'll tie a dispossessed bomb to your tails that'll blow you into the streets. I'll make your movement move.
You know, Harry, he sure say the funniest things. Oh, hell. Where's my drink? Oh, that damn Rocky's too fast cleaning off the tables. I only took one little sip of it.
No, you don't. Anytime you take one sip of a drink, you'll have lockjaw and paralysis.
Sure, it's not like you to be so hard-hearted, Harry.
You, Mac, another crook. Who asked you to laugh? We was talking about poor old Bessie, and you and that no-good brother of hers started to laugh. A hell of a thing. You know her opinion of you, Mac? That Pat McGloin is the biggest drunken grafter that ever disgraced the police force, she used to say to me. I hope they send him to Sing Sing for life.
She didn't mean it. Bess had a heart of gold underneath all her sharpness. She knew I was innocent of all the charges.
One moment, please, Lieutenant McGloin. Are you aware you are under oath? Do you realize what the penalty for perjury is? Come now, Lieutenant. Isn't it a fact that you're guilty as hell? Now, don't say how about your old man. I'm asking the questions. The fact that he was a crooked old bucket-shop bastard has no bearing on your case. Gentlemen of the jury, court will now recess while the DA sings a little ditty he learned at Harvard. It was composed in a wanton moment by the dean of the divinity school on a moonlight night in July 1776 while sobering up in a Turkish bath. Oh, come up, she cried, my sailor lad, and you and I'll agree, and I'll show you the prettiest that ever you did see. Harry, don't let Rocky bounce me upstairs, I'll go crazy. Listen, Mac, I apologize. Don't get sore. I was only kidding.
Sure. Get all you want to, Willie. I'm hardened to it. I tell you that one of these days I am going to get him to open up my case. Everybody knows there was no real evidence against me. I just took the blame for the ones higher up.
Of course you'll be reinstated, Mac. All you need is a brilliant young attorney to handle your case. I'll be straightened out and on the wagon in a day or two. I've never practiced. You will let me handle your case, won't you, Mac?
Sure I will, Willie. Make your reputation.
Haven't I heard their visions 1,000 times? I wish to hell Hickey would turn up.
Harry. Poor Willie needs a drink bad. You know, I think if we all joined him, make him feel he's among friends. Kind of cheer him up, huh?
More circus tricks. Bessie had you sized up.
Oh, yeah, dear old Bess. Hey, you remember the time she sent me down to the bar to change a $10 bill for her?
Do I? She could have taken a bite out of the stove lid when she found it out.
I was sure surprised when she asked me to change that 10 spot. You know, Bess usually had better sense, but she was in a hurry to get to church, you know. I really didn't mean to do it. But you know, the circus season was going to begin soon, and I needed a little practice to keep my hand in. I said to her, I said, Beth, I'm sorry I had to take it all out in dimes. Now, here. Hold out your hand now, and I'll count it out for you so you won't be kicking afterwards that I shortchanged you. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, $1, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Now, you're counting with me, aren't you, Bess? 80, 90, $2, 10, 20. Hey, those are pretty shoes you got on, Bess. 40, 50, 70, 80, 90, $3, 10, 20, 30. Hey, that's a nice new hat you got on, Bess. 50, 70, 80, $94, 10, 20, 30, 50, 70, 80, 90. Hey, that's a swell-looking shampoo you got there. Say, looks very becoming. $6. So on. Well, I'm a bum at it now because I'm out of practice. But, you know, Back in those days, I could have short-changed to keep her at a mint.
Well, a hell of a guy you are. Bragging how you shortchanged your own sister.
Oh, gosh. You know, thinking of the old ticket wagon brings those days back again. It was the greatest life on earth. That was the greatest show on earth. The grandest bunch of regular guys ever gathered under one tent. Oh, I'd sure like to shake their hands again.
They'd have guns in there. They'd shoot you on sight. Why, you've touched every damn one of them. You've even borrowed fish from the trained seals and peanuts from every elephant that remembered you.
Yeah, you know, Harry, though, I made up my mind. I'm gonna see the boss in a couple of days, and I'm gonna ask for my job back. Yeah, well, ain't no percentage hanging around here now, taking care of you, shooing away your snakes. I don't even get an eye opener for my trouble. Huh?
No. You can go to hell or the circus for all I care, and a damn good riddance. I wonder what the hell happened to Hickey. I hope he'll show up. Oh, he's always good for a million funny stories. You know, you and these other bums are beginning to give me the graveyard fantods. Oh, I sure could do a laugh with Hickey. Remember that gag he always pulls about his wife and the Iceman? He'd make a cat laugh, that fellow would.
Opening time, boss. Why don't you go to bed, boss? Hickey'd never turn up this time of the morning.
There's somebody coming now.
Oh, that's only my two pigs. It's about time they showed up. Piano!
Oh, jeez. Well, this place is a mob with all these tips on deck. Hiya, white guy, ain't you died yet?
Not yet, Margie. I'm waiting impatiently for the end.
Who's the new guy, friend of yours? Hey, kid, you want to have a good time? He's pissed out. To hell with him. Come on.
Now, Broads, will you cut out the noise?
Sit down before I knock you down. Well, how do you tramps do?
Pretty good, huh, Pop? Yeah. Picked up a couple of all-night guys. On 6th Avenue, boobs from the 6th. Cinco, the both of them. We thought we was in luck. We steered into a real hotel. We figured they too stinko to bother us much, and we could cop a good night's sleep in beds that ain't got cobblestones in the mattress like the ones in this town. Yeah, but we were out of luck, though. They didn't bother us much that way, you know. But they wouldn't go to sleep, neither. Gee, I never heard such a couple of gabby guys. They got on to politics, drinking out the bottle. They forget we's around. The Bull-Mooses is the only regular guys, one guy says. And the other one says, I'm a Republican and you're a liar. And then they laugh. Yeah. And then they make a bluff, like they're going to scrap, and then they make up. And then they cry, and then they laugh, and then they sing school days. And here's trying to sleep with that on the phonograph. Oh, maybe you think we wasn't glad when the house dick came and told us to take the air, huh? Yeah, so we told the guys we'd meet him around the corner. Yeah. So here we are.
Yeah, I see it, but I don't see no dough yet.
Hey, right on a job, ain't he, Margie? Yeah, a little businessman, that's him.
Come on, dig.
Pipe him keeping cases. He's scared we're holding out on him. The way he grabs, you'd think it was him done the work. All right, here you are, Grafter. I hope it chokes you.
Hey, you dumb baby dolls, give me a pain.
Well, geez, what's the difference, huh? I didn't mean that, Rocky.
A lot of difference, get me?
All right, don't get sore. Can't you take a little kidding? Oh, come on, Rocky. Pearl was only kidding. We know you got a regular job. That's why we like you, see. You don't live off us. You're a bartender.
Sure, I'm a bartender.
Anyway, we wouldn't keep no pimp like we're regular old whores. We ain't that bad. We're tossed. But that's all.
Yeah. Cora got back around 3 o'clock. She woke up Chuck and dragged him out of the hay to go to a chop suey joint. Imagine him standing for that stuff.
They've been sitting around kidding themselves with an old pipe dream about getting married, settling down on the farm. Sure. Geez, when Chuck's on the wagon, they never lay off that dope. Chuck with that silly grin on his ugly mouth.
And Cora giggling like she was in grammar school. Mm. And her on the turf long before you and me ever was.
Yeah, of all the pipe dreams in this dump, they got the nuttiest. What would getting married get him? But that farm stuff is the sappiest part. When both of them was dragged up on his sword and ain't never been near a farm than Coney Island. They'd get DTs if they ever heard a cricket chirp. Can you picture a good barkeep like Chuck digging spuds? And imagine a whore hustling a cow's home. Ain't that a sweet picture?
Rocky, Cora may be a tart.
Oh, sure, that's all I meant, a tart.
Hey, I bet you Cora don't know which end of the cow has got the horns on. Hey, I'm going to ask her.
Well, here's your chance. There's them two nuts now.
She's a morgue on a rainy Sunday night. Hello, wise guy. Ain't you croaked yet?
No, not yet, Cora. It's damn tiring, this waiting for the end.
Oh, go on. You'll never die. You'll have to hire somebody to croak you with an axe.
You dumb broad, will you cut out the noise? The hell do you think it is, a cat house?
Oh, Harry, such language.
Oh, I'll bet Bessie's turning over in her grave.
If I'd known this dump was a hooker hangout, I would have never come here.
You seem to be down on the ladies.
I hate everyone that ever lived. They're all alike. Well, you can understand how I feel, can't you, Larry, when it was getting mixed up with that tart that made me have that fight with Mother?
Hey, who's the guy with Larry?
A tightwad. The hell with him.
Say, Cora, wise me up on something, huh? Which end of the cow has got the horns on? Don't remind me. I'm sick of hearing about that farm.
You got nothing on us.
Oh, man, this big tramp has been scrapping about it. He says Jersey's the best place. I say Long Island because then we'll be near Coney. And I said to him, how do I know you're off periodicals for life? I don't give a damn how drunk you get the way we are, but I don't want to get married to no soak.
And I tells her I'm off this stuff for life.
Yeah.
Then she beefs we won't be married a month before I'll throw it in the face she was a tart. Geez, baby, I tells her, why should I? And what the hell do you think I think I'm marrying a virgin? Why should I beef as long as you lay off it and don't do no cheating with the Iceman? That's on a level, baby.
Well, go on, you big tramp.
I'll buy a drink. I'll do anything.
No, this round's on me. I run into luck. Yeah, that's why I dragged Chuck out of bed to celebrate. What's a sailor? I got $12 off him. Come on, Rocky. Set him up. Hey, where the hell is Icky?
Well, that's what we're all wondering.
He should be here by now. Me and Chuck seen him.
You seen Icky? Hey, boss. Boss. Come to. Cora's seen Hickey.
Hickey? Where'd you see him, Cora?
Right on the corner. He was just standing there. We said to him, welcome to our city. The gang's expecting you with their tongues hanging out a yard long. And he just said, tell the gang I'll be along in a minute. But, you know, he was funny somehow. He was different or something.
Sure, he was sober, baby.
Sure. Gee, ain't I dumb?
Oh, the dumbest broad I've ever seen. Sober? Now, that's funny. He always managed to lap up a good starter before he got here. Well, he won't be sober long. He'll be good and right for my birthday party tonight. You know, fellas, I'll bet he's thought up some new gag for us. Now, we must all pretend to let him kid us. Then we'll kid the pants off him.
Hit the
Okay! Hey, do you do it, Brother Rocky? Bring on the rat poison! Oh, it's always fair weather when good fellows get together. And another little drink will not do us any harm. When good fellows get together, and another little drink will not do us any
Great to see your ugly grinning mouth again. Oh, you know, this dumb broad here said you changed. But you haven't, not a bit. You're the same old Hickey. You know, you look like $1 million.
Hickey. The same old room.
Ah, thanks, Rocky. I think I'll go up in a while and grab a snooze. Haven't been able to sleep lately. I'm tired as hell. A couple hours of good kip will fix me, though, huh?
Well, it's the first time I ever heard you worry about sleep. Damn it, man. You never would go to bed. Here, get a couple of slugs under your belt, and you'll forget all about sleep. Butter your eye, Hickey.
Drink party, boys and girls.
Hey. Is that some new stunt? Drinking the chaser first.
No, I forgot to tell Rocky. You'll have to excuse me, boys and girls, but I'm off the stuff for keeps.
Oh, what the hell? Join the Salvation Army. Been elected president of the WCCU. Oh, Rocky, take away the bottle. We don't want to tempt the man into sin.
Hell, Governor. You don't think I'd come around here peddling some brand of temperance bung, do you? Oh, you know me better than that. Just because I'm off the stuff doesn't mean I've gone prohibition. Not that ungrateful. No, the only reason I quit is, well, I finally had the guts to face myself and throw overboard the damn lion pipe dream that was making me miserable. And then all at once I found I was at peace with myself and I didn't need booze anymore. That's all there was to it. Oh, but what the hell? Don't let me be a wet blanket making fool speeches about myself. Set him up again, Rocky. Keep the balls coming to let's kill and ask for more.
Geez, a roll and it's a choke a hippopotamus.
Oh, you know that water wagon bull. Hey, cut out the act and have a drink for Pete's sake.
No act, Governor, no act. You know, you've all been good pals to me. Best friends I ever had. And I've been thinking about you all the time I was walking over here.
Walking? Do you mean to say you walk?
I sure did, all the way from the wilds of darkest Astoria. Didn't make such bad time, either. See, it was going on 12 when I went in the bedroom to tell Evelyn I was leaving. 6 hours, say. No, less than that. Well, anyway, I was standing on the corner quite a while, thinking about how to save you. No, I didn't mean booze. I meant saving you from pipe dreams. Yeah, you got to stop lying about yourself and kidding yourself about tomorrow. But what the hell? This is beginning to sound like some damn sermon on the way to lead the good life. You'll have to forget that part of it. It's in my blood, I guess. My old man used to wail salvation into my hiney with a birch rod. He was a preacher from the sticks of Indiana, like I told you. Well, now, look, boys and girls, don't look at me as if I'm selling you some kind of gold brick. I got nothing up my sleeves. Honest. Come on. Let's take an example. Any one of you. Let's take you, Governor. That walk around the ward you never take.
Well, what about it?
Why, you know as well as I do, Harry, everything about it.
Gee, I'm going to take it.
Sure you're going to take it, this time. And I'm going to help you. Because I know it's the one thing you've got to do before you'll ever know what real peace means. And the same thing with you, Jimmy. You've got to try and get your old job back and know tomorrow about it. Now, don't tell me, Jimmy. I know all about tomorrow. I wrote the book.
I don't understand you. I admit I foolishly delayed, but as it so happens, I just made my mind that as soon as I could get straight...
Fine, and that's the spirit. You know, you've been damn kind to me, Jimmy, and I want to show you how grateful I am. And when it's all over, and you don't have to nag at yourself anymore, well, you're going to be grateful to me, too. And all the rest of you, ladies included, are in the same boat, one way or another.
Damn, Hagee, you know you've hit the nail on the head. This dump is the palace of pipe dream.
Oh, the old grandstand philosopher speaks. You think you're the one big exception, huh, Larry? Life doesn't mean a damn thing anymore. You've retired from the circus, waiting impatiently for the end, the good old long sleep.
Well, I think a hell of a lot of you, Larry, you old bastard. I'll try to make an honest man out of you, too.
What the devil are you hinting at, Higgy?
Well, you don't have to ask me, do you? A wise old guy like you. Just ask yourself. I'll bet you know.
Oh, he's got your number all right, Larry. That's the stuff. Hickey, show the old faker up. He can't sneak out of everything.
Hello. A stranger in our midst. I don't think I noticed you before, brother.
My name's Parrott. I'm an old friend of Larry's. Well, what are you staring at?
No offense, brother, no offense. Just trying to figure. Haven't we met before someplace?
No. This is my first time meeting.
No, you're right. You're right. But still, I recognize something about you. We're members of the same lodge in some way.
You're nuts. What are you talking about?
Mind your own business, Higgy. He's nothing to you or to me.
Oh?
Well, you're holding us in suspense. Tell us more about how you're going to save us.
Yeah. Hell, Larry, don't get sore. Not at me. I've always liked you a hell of a lot.
Well, I've always liked you, too. Forget it, Higgy.
Fine, that's the spirit.
Well, what's the matter, everybody? What is this? A funeral?
Come on, drink up. A little action. Hey, what?
God, I'm sleepy all of a sudden. That long walk must be getting me. I better go upstairs. Yeah, heck of a thing to go dead on you like this. No, sir, boys and girls. I never knew what real peace was until now. Oh, it's a grand feeling. It's like when you're sick and suffering like hell and the doc comes and he gives you a shot in the arm and the pain goes. Just drift off. And let go of yourself at last. Let yourself sink down to the bottom of the sea. Rest in peace. No farther you have to go, not a single damned hope or dream left to torment you. Oh, you all know what I mean when you... excuse me, boys and girls, I'm all in. Gotta grab 40 winks. Drink up, everybody. On me.
Gee, that's a hell of a stunt. Go to sleep on us. I can't figure Hickey. I'd still say he's kidding us. What do you think, Jimmy?
He does appear changed, but he'll probably be himself tomorrow. I mean, as soon as he wakes up.
You'll make a mistake if you think he's only kidding.
I don't like that guy, Larry. I'm going to steer clear of him.
Harry, there was some sense to his nonsense. It is true I should get my job back. So I hardly need him to remind me.
Yeah. I ought to take that walk, honey. I don't need no Hickey to help me, seeing I got it all fixed for my birthday tomorrow.
Well, he's made 2 sales of his piece, at least. But you better make sure that it's the real McCoy and not poison.
You bunkhouse, I won't work hard. Who asked you to shove your oar in? What the hell do you mean poison? Just because he got your number? Gee, I don't get it. He ain't like the old Hickey. He'll be a hell of a wet blanket at my birthday party tonight. Which the hell he never showed up.
No, give him time, Harry. He'll come out of it. You know, I've watched many a case of almost fatal teetotalism, but they all come out of it, you know, completely cured, drunk as ever. You know, in my opinion, the poor sap is temporarily bunkhouse from overwork. You can't be too careful about work. It's one of the deadliest habits known to science. A great physician once told me. Yeah, he used to practice on street corners under a torchlight. He was positively the only doctor in the world who claimed that rattlesnake oil rubbed on the Pratt could cure heart failure. In 3 days. I remember saying to me, oh, he says, you're naturally delicate, Ed, but if you drink a pint of bad whiskey every morning before breakfast and never work if you can help it, why, you may live to a ripe old age. It's staying sober and working that cuts men off in their prime.
You laugh, little bushman, monkey fist. Laugh like fools, little stupid people. I will laugh too. I will laugh less. I will laugh at you. The days grow hot of Babylon. This cold beneath thy velocity.
Tell me more about your doctor friend, Ed. He strikes me as the only bloody sensible medico I ever heard of. I think we ought to appoint him house physician here without a moment's delay.
That's the spirit, everybody. Don't let me be a wet blanket. All I want is to see you happy.
Thanks, Frankie. How's that, kid?
Now, what the hell do I know about flowers?
Well, you can see they're pretty, can't you, you big dummy?
Yeah, baby, sure. If you like them, they're okay with me.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, Pearl, that's some cake, huh?
Yeah.
Here, look at 6 candles, each for 10 years.
When do we light the candles, huh, Rocky?
It's that bug-out Sicky. He's elected himself voice of this birthday racket just before Harry comes down, he says. Geez, ever since Sicky woke up, you can't hold him. He's taking on a party like it was his birthday.
Oh, he's paying for everything, ain't he?
I wish the louse never showed up. I hope he don't come back from that delicatessen. He's getting everybody nuts. He's got Harry and Jimmy tomorrow run ragged. And the rest are hiding in their room so they won't have to listen to him. And they're getting kind of cagey with the booze, too. Like they were scared if they get too drunk, they might spill their guts or something. And everybody's getting a prize grouch on it.
Yeah. You think he suspected me and Chuck had no real intention of getting married?
Yeah, we're gonna show him, baby, huh?
Well, we decided Jersey's where we want to farm, and we're going to get married there, too, because you don't need no license there. And we're going to get married tomorrow, ain't we, honey?
You bet, baby.
Oh, geez, Chuck, are you letting that bug-out Sicky kid you into...
I ain't kidding him into nothing, and me neither. And besides, Hickey's right. If this old big tramp is going to marry me, you ought to do something about it, not just shoot off his whole bazoo about it.
Oh, you can't be that dumb, Chuck.
You keep out of this. You and your crickets. You'd think they was elephants.
Oh, don't listen to that broad, Rocky. You heard what she said. Tomorrow, it's the same old crap.
Is that so?
Geez, imagine Quarter a bride. Ain't that a hot one? Hey, Quarter, if all the guys you ever stayed with was put side by side, you could walk on them from here to Texas.
Oh, you can't talk to me like that, you fat dago hooker. Yeah, I may be a toss, but I ain't a cheap-bone whore like you! Get up, you
Well, who wants to? But nobody can call me no whore!
Oh, bury it! What are you, virgin?
Suppose that means you think I'm a whore, too. Is that it? Yeah. And me?
No, don't start nothing.
I suppose it'd tickle you if Margie and me was to do what that louse Hickey hinted at and come right on and admit that we was whores.
All right, whatever. It's the truth, ain't it?
All right, Rocky. All right, we're whores. You know what that makes you, don't you?
Look out now, huh?
A lousy little pimp, that's why.
I'll line you.
No!
A dirty little guinea pimp, that's
I'll line you.
Open the door, Spy.
Yeah, Hickey converted him over.
Oh.
Lay off of me or I'll beat the hell out of you. What the hell are you laughing at, you have that old stoop bum?
That itself he ought to be.
Geez, Hickey sure got his number.
Come on, wake up, Comrade Hugo. Here's the revolution starting on all sides of us, and you're sleeping through it. Come on. Yeah, to Hickey, the great nihilist, he's started a movement that'll blow up the world.
Yeah, Renegade, try that. Time you think I have the shot. Oh, that bourgeois swine, Hickey. He thinks I'm finished. It is too late. And so I do not wish the day to come, because it will not be my day. See what he thinks. I will have him hang the first one of all to the first lamppost. Why are you so serious, you little monkey faces? It's all a big joke, no? So we get drunk, and then we laugh like hell, then we die, and the pipe dream vanishes. The day's grow hot to Babylon, so be of good cheer, little stupid peoples. Good. That rotten damn Hickey. It's he who makes me sneer. I want to sleep.
Gee. Hickey ain't missing no bets, is he? He's even give Hugo to work.
I warned you this morning that he wasn't kidding.
I never seen a guy change so much. Larry, you always pretend to be such a wise old fox about everything. What do you think has happened to him?
Oh, I don't know. With all his gab, he's kept that to himself so far, I noticed. Well, maybe he's saving a great revelation for Harry's party. The hell with him. I don't give a damn what it is. Let him mind his own business, and I'll mind mine.
I don't give a damn what happened to Hickey. I know what's going to happen if he don't watch his step. I told him, I'll take a lot from you, Hickey, like everyone else in this stump, because you've always been a grand guy. But there's things I don't take from you. No, nobody, remember, see? Or you'll wake up in the hospital. Or maybe worse, with your wife and the Iceman walking slow behind you.
Oh, you shouldn't have made that Iceman crack, Rocky. It's all right for him to kid about it, but you... Hey, I notice he ain't pulled that Iceman gag this time. Hey, you suppose he really did catch his wife cheating? I don't mean with no Iceman, but with some guy?
Oh, that's the book. He'd have beat her up and gone on the worst drunk he ever staged, like any other guy do.
Sure, Rocky's got the right dope, baby. He'd be paralyzed.
Yeah, I stood telling people this dump is closed for the night. All I'm gonna. Let Harry hire a doorman and pay him wages he wants.
Yeah? Harry's pretty damn good to you.
Sure he is. I don't mean that. Anyway, it's all right. I've told Schwartz the cop that we're closed for the party. And he'll keep folks away. I want me a big drink, that's what.
But have all you want on Hickey.
Yeah, I drink on him. But I don't drink with him. No, sir. Never no more.
What's he done to you?
Sure, he's all right with you. He's a white man, ain't he? Now, you listen to me, you white boys. Don't you get in your heads that I'm pretending to be what I ain't, or that I ain't proud to be what I am. Else you and me gonna have trouble.
What a nerve. You act nice to the guy and he gets a swelled nuts. If that ain't like a coon all over.
Talking fight talk, yeah? I'll murder the nigger.
Listen, boys, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. You've been good friends to me. I'm nuts, I guess. That Hickey, he'd get my head all mixed up with craziness.
Oh, that's all right, Joe. The boys wasn't taking you serious. Oh, boy, what I say, Hickey ain't missing no bet. Even Joe. But you know, you can't help liking the louse. I mean, you gotta admit he's got the right dope on some of the bums here.
You certainly got one guy I know figured out, ain't he, Phil?
You certainly have.
Put it on! I told you!
Well, here I am in the nick of time. Come on, give me a hand with these bundles, somebody.
You're gonna snag me out of my skin sneaking in like that.
Sneaking? Why, me and the Texas man made enough noise getting my big surprise in the hall to wake to death.
Hey, is those bundles grub, Hickey? You bought enough here to feed an army.
It can't be too much. I want this to be the biggest birthday party Harry's ever had. Hey, Jock, you and Rocky go out in the hall and get the big surprise. My arms is busted lugging it.
Geez, you got his old head up, Hickey. What is it, huh?
Oh, you just wait and see. I got it as a treat for the three of you more than anyone. I said to myself, I bet this is what'll please those whores more than anything. What's the matter? You look sore. What? I see, but you know how I feel about that.
Okay, Hickey, let it slide, huh?
Look! Here it comes! Unveil it, boys.
Oh, it's champagne! Oh, gee, Hickey, if you ain't a sport. I never got sold on champagne. Poyle, let's get steamed. Oh, you bet you to go to the...
Oh, Hickey, you sure hitting the high spots. When I run my gambling house, I drink that bubbly water in steins.
Yeah.
And I'm going to drink it that way again, too, as soon as I get my steak.
What do we drink it out of, Hickey?
Well, Joe has the right idea. Schooners! That's the spirit for Harry's birthday.
We will drink wine beneath the willow tree.
That's the spirit, brother, and let the lousy slaves drink vinegar.
Rotten damn liar. Give Hugo B. He rotted 10 years in prison for his faith. He's earned his dream. Have you no decency or pity?
Hello. What's this? I thought you were in the grandstand. Now listen, Larry, you're getting me all wrong. Of course I have pity, but it isn't my old kind of pity, the kind yours is. The kind that lets itself off easy by encouraging some poor guy to go on kidding himself with a lie. The kind that leaves the poor slob worse off because it makes him feel guiltier than ever. Hell, I know all about that kind of pity. I've had a belly full of it in my time, and it's all wrong. And you're going to be grateful to me, too, Larry, when you can admit all at once, without being ashamed, that all that old grandstand philosopher stuff and the waiting for the big sleep is just a pipe dream. You say to yourself, I'm an old man who's scared of life, but even more scared of dying. So I'm sitting here and getting drunk and hanging on to life at any price. And then you'll know what real peace means, Larry, because then you won't be scared of either life or death anymore. You simply won't give a damn, any more than I do. Huh?
Damn if I'm not beginning to think you've gone mad.
You're a liar! Oh, hell, Larry, that's no way to talk to an old pal who's trying to help you. If you really wanted to die, you'd just take a hop off your fire escape, wouldn't you? And if you really were in the grandstand, you wouldn't go around pitying everyone. Oh, I know. The truth is tough to take at first. It was for me, too. And as for my being bughouse, you can't crawl out of it that way. Yeah, I'm too damn sane. I can size guys up and turn them inside out better than I ever could. Especially when they're strangers, like that parrot kid. He's licked, Larry. I think there's only one possible way out you can help him to take. That is, if you have the right kind of pity for him.
I'm not advising him except to leave me out of his troubles. He's nothing to me.
But you'll find he won't agree to that. He'll keep after you until he makes you help him, because he's got to be punished so he can forgive himself. Lick, Larry, can't manage it alone, and you are the only one he can turn to.
For the love of God, will you mind your own business? What do you know about him anyway? He's hardly spoken to you.
No, you're right. But I do know a lot about him just the same. I've had hell inside of me. I can spot it in others. Maybe that's what gives me the feeling there's something familiar about it. Something between us. It's a woman. I know the symptoms.
And you're the boy who's never wrong, you damn fool. His trouble is that he was brought up to revere the movement, that's all, and he's lost his faith. It's a shock. But he's young, and he'll find another dream just as good or as bad.
All right, Larry, I'll let it go at that. But I'm glad he's here because he'll help me make you wake up to yourself. Oh, I've always liked you a lot, you old bastard. Well, not much time before 12. Come on, let's get busy, boys and girls. Oh, the cake all set. And my presents, and yours, girl, and Chuck's and Rocky. Oh, that's fine. Harry'll certainly be touched by your thought of him. Hey, listen, I'll go up now and root everyone out. Pearl, you light the candles on the cake when you hear us coming, and Cora, get ready to play Harry's favorite song. Well, come on, hustle, everybody. We want this to come off in style.
I'm trying to practice. I ain't touched the box. I don't know how to... How does Joe. I ain't played that hand around in more. Wait a minute.
And now it's the second feast of Belshazzar, with Hickey to do the writing on the wall.
Shut up, old cemetery. Always beefing. Well, if it ain't Prince Willie. Hey, kid, you look terrible. Grab yourself a shot.
No, thanks. Not now. I'm tapering off.
Well, you know he means it.
It was hell up in that damn room, Larry. The things I imagined, I thought I'd go crazy. But I got it beat now. By tomorrow morning, I'll be on the wagon. I'm going to get my clothes back first thing. Hickey's loaning me the money. I'll do what I always said. Go to the DA's office. He was a good friend of my old man's. He knows that I really was a brilliant law student. I know I can make good now that I'm off the booze forever. I owe a lot to Hickey. He's made me wake up to myself. It's not what he says, it's what's behind it. It's what he hints. You'd think all I wanted to do with my life was stay here and be drunk. I'll show him.
If you want my advice, you put the nearest bottle to your mouth until you don't give a damn about Hickey.
Well, that's fine advice. I thought you were my friend!
Knocking at my door. I opened it up because I thought it was probably you, and he comes busting in. He makes me come downstairs. I don't know what for. I don't belong in this birthday celebration. All I came here for was to find you.
I warned you.
Can't you make Hickey mind his own business? I don't like that guy, Larry. Gee, the way he acts, you'd think he had something on me. Well, just right now, he pats me on the shoulder and he says, I know how it is, son, but you can't hide from yourself. Not even here at the bottom of the sea. What did he mean by that, Larry?
How the hell would I know?
And then he grins and he says, never mind. Larry's getting wise to himself. I think you can rely on his help. In the end. He says you'll have to choose between living and dying. And he'll never choose to die as long as there's a breath left in him. And then he grins like it was a big joke on you. Well, what do you say to that, Larry?
Nothing to say except that you're a bigger damn fool to listen to him than he is to talk.
Yes, sir, he's no fool where you're concerned. He's got your number, all right? Oh, I don't mean that. You know what I want most is to be friends with you, Larry. I haven't a single friend left in the world. I hope that you could be, too, without it hurting you. You ought to, for Mother's sake. She really loved you, Larry. And you loved her, too, didn't you?
Leave what's dead in its grave.
Do you know, Larry, that you're the one of them all that she cared most about? She'd kid herself that you'd give up booze and come back to the movement tomorrow. She'd say, Larry can't kill in himself a faith that he's given his life to. Not without killing himself. About it, Larry? Was she right? I suppose what she really meant was to come back to her. She was always getting herself mixed up with a movement. But I'm sure she really must have loved you, Larry. No, but she wasn't even faithful to you at that, was she? That's why you walked out on her, isn't it? I remember that last fight you had. I remember you got mad and you said, I don't like living with a whore, if that's what you mean.
Lie, I never called her that.
I think that's why she still respects you, see, because it was you who walked out on her. You were the one who beat her to it. Well, she got sick of all the others way before they ever did of her. I don't think she cared much about them. She just had to keep on having lovers to prove how free she was. That made home a lousy place. I got to feeling like you did about it. It was like living in some whorehouse, only worse, because she didn't have to go on making her...
bastard! She's your mother. Have you no shame?
Please don't go, Larry. I've got to talk to you, or I'll talk to Hickey. He won't leave me alone. I feel he knows anyway. But I hate his guts. I'm scared of it. There's just something not human behind that damn grinning and kidding.
You feel that, too?
But I can't go on like this, Larry. I've got to tell you.
won't listen.
All right, I won't. Please, don't go. Who the hell do you think you're kidding? I know damn well you guessed.
Guess nothing.
But I want you to guess. I know now, since Hickey's been after me, that I meant for you to guess right from the very start. That's why I came to you. One should understand the reason, Larry. See, I began studying American history. And I got admiring guys like Washington and Jefferson and Lincoln and Jackson. And I began to feel patriotic and really, really love this country.
You stinking, rotten liar. Do you think you can fool me with such hypocrite's cancer? I don't give a damn what it is that you did. It's on your head, whatever it was. I don't know what it was, and I won't know.
I just didn't think they would catch her. Please believe that. You know I never would have done such a thing.
All I know is that I'm sick of life. I'm through. I've forgotten myself. I'm drowned and contented on the bottom of a bottle. Honor, dishonor, faith, treachery are nothing to me, but the opposites of the same stupidity. In the end, they rot and die in the same grave, so go away! Wasting your breath. Forgotten your mother.
The old philosopher. Why, you lousy old faker. Wait till Hickey gets through with you.
Oh, hi there, Tightwad kid. You come to join the party? Ain't he bashful, Pa? Yeah, especially with his dog.
How dare you?
Hey, Rocky, fight over!
Get down there, you
Cut down! I hate you! Call each other every name you can think of. Select a swell time to stage your first bout on Harry's birthday party. What started the scrap?
Nothing. This is our business, after all. That blasted ass Hickey, he made some insinuation about me, and that glorious boy had the impertinence to agree with him, and I'll...
That's a lie. Hickey made a joke about me and that lousy limey sated for stool.
Sit down, up smoking, and cut out this rough stuff. Harry's party begins in a minute, and we don't want no soreheads around.
Oh, very well. In deference to the occasion, I apologize, General Wetjourn, provided that you do also.
All right. Captain Lewis, in that case, I also apologize because Harry is my good friend.
Oh, what the hell if you can't do better than that?
Oh, here come the two star boarders.
I tell you what, this time it's serious. That Hickey has got Harry on the hip, and it won't do us no good if he gets him to take that walk tomorrow.
You're damn right. You know, Harry will mosey down around the ward, dropping in on everybody he knew when, you know. They'll give him a phony glad hand and tons of good advice and what a sucker he is to put up with us.
Be sure to call on Bessie's relations to do a little crying over poor, dear Bessie. You know what that bitch and her family thought of me.
Now, remember, Lieutenant, you're speaking of my sister. Dear Bessie wasn't a bitch. She was the queen bitch of them all. And if you think my loving relatives are going to have time to discuss you, well, you don't know them. They're going to be too busy telling Harry what a drunken crook I am and how he ought to have me put up in Sing Sing or something.
Once Bessie's relations get their hooks in, it'll be as tough for us as if she wasn't gone.
Yeah, Harry's getting old. He'll be an easy mark for those grafters. Oh, hell, Mac, we're saps to worry. Harry's been pulling that bluff about taking a walk every birthday he's had for 20 years.
Yeah, but Hickey wasn't sicking him on those times, just the opposite.
don't care whether he goes or not. I'm getting out of here tomorrow anyway. I'm just sorry for you, Mac.
Oh, you needn't be. Ain't I leaving myself? I was just feeling sorry for you.
Yes, sir, my mind is made up. I feel the call of the old carefree circus life again, boy, right in my blood. I'm going to see the boss tomorrow. You know, it's late in the season, but he'll be glad to put me on. Boy, won't that old gang be tickled to death when they see me walk right on the lot, huh?
Maybe. They got a rope handy.
Now listen, Mac. I'm getting sick of you kidding.
You are you? Well, I'm sick of you kidding me about getting reinstated. I'm tapering off, and in the morning I'll be fresh as a daisy. I'm going to go and have a private chin with the commissioner. And man alive, from what the boys tell me, there's sugar galore these days, and I'll soon be riding around in a big red automobile with loads of cash.
Hey, one long hop. Put some fresh peanut oil in lap. Cook the lieutenant another dozen pills. It's his galled up night.
Listen, one more crack at you and I'll bash in your face. Fat stuff. Rocky!
This is a Charlie's birthday party. Sit down and behave.
All right, you just tell him to lay off.
You tell him to lay off me?
Everything all set? Fine. Harry's starting down now with Jimmy. And you know what? A hell of a time getting them to move. They'd rather stay hiding up there, kidding each other along. Harry doesn't even want to remember it's his birthday now. Well, here they come. Pearl, light the candles. Get ready to play, Cora. Chuck, Rocky, bring the wine on. Come on, stand up, everybody. Oh, on the dot, it's 12. Come on, everybody, with a happy birthday, Harry. Happy birthday, Harry. Cora. Always jolly down.
Hello, quick off, Anziki. You think I'm a sucker? I know you, you sneaking, lying brother. Where are you from? What the hell do you think you're doing? Yelling and raising the roof. You want the cops to close the joint? Take away my license? Hey, you dumb tart. Quit banging that box. Gee, at least you could do is learn the tune. You two hookers screaming your lungs out. What the hell do you think it is, a dollar cat house? Gee, that's where you belong.
Harry, you don't want to take it out on the gang just because you're upset with yourself. You don't want to bawl out the old gang just when they're congratulating you on your birthday, do you? Hell, that's no way.
Well, they ain't as dumb as you. They know I was only kidding them. They know I appreciate their congratulations. Don't you, fellas? Oh, sure, boy. I like you two broads. You know I was only kidding.
Sure, we know her.
Sure, Harry's the greatest little kidder in this dump, and that's saying something. Look how he's kidded himself for 20 years. Unless I'm wrong, Governor, and I'm betting I'm not. But we'll soon know, tomorrow morning. No, by God, it's this morning now.
This morning?
Yes, it's today at last, Jimmy. Oh, don't look so scared. I promised I'd help you.
I don't understand you. Kindly remember, I'm fully capable of settling my own affairs.
Well, isn't that exactly what I want you to do? Settle with yourself once and for all. Only, watch out for the booze, huh, Jimmy? Not too much from now on, you.
Hey, Cora, what's the matter with that box, huh?
Yeah, come on, Cora. Oh, come on, Cora, play some more. That was Bessie's favorite tune. She was always singing it. Oh, gee, it brings it all back. I wish.
Yes, we've all heard you tell us you thought the world of her, Governor.
Well, so I did. Everyone knows I did. But gee, if you say I didn't...
Governor, I didn't say anything. You're the only one who knows the truth about that.
Marjorie's favorite tune was Loch Lomond. She sang beautifully. She was beautiful. She played the piano beautifully. She had a beautiful voice. You were lucky, Harry. Bessie died. But there are more bitter sorrows than losing the woman one loves by the hand of death.
Oh, now, Jimmy, you needn't go on. Why, we all know the story of how you came back to Cape Town and found her in the hay with a staff officer. We know you like to think that that's what started you on the booze and ruined your life.
Talking to Harry. Will you kindly keep out
My life is not ruined.
But I'll bet if you admit the truth to yourself, you'll confess you were pretty sick of her hating you for getting drunk. I bet you were really damned relieved when she gave you such a good excuse. I know, Jimmy.
Oh, that's what happened to you, Hickey. Your old Iceman joke came home to roost, did it? Well, you should have remembered the truth of the old superstition. That you better watch out what you call, because in the end, it'll come to you.
Oh, is that a fact, Larry? Then you better look out how you keep calling for that old big sleep, huh?
Well, what are we waiting for, boys and girls? Let's get the party rolling. Chuck, Rocky, bring on the big surprise. Governor, you're going to sit right over here, right at the head of the table.
I will have you shot. We will eat birthday cake and drink champagne beneath the roof. Oh, this wine is not fit to drink. It's not been properly iced.
Oh, always the high-toned swell at heart, huh, Hugo? Well, God help us poor bums. If you'd ever get to telling us where to get off, you'd have been drinking our blood beneath those willow trees. Well, here's the toast, ladies and gentlemen. Here's to Harry Hope, who's been a friend indeed to every one of us. Here's to the old governor, the best sport, and the kindest, biggest-hearted guy in the world. He's wishing you all the luck there is, Harry, and long life, and happiness. Come on, everybody, to Harry. Bottoms up. Speed. Speed.
Well, but gee, I'm no good at making speeches. All I can say is thanks. Thanks again to everyone for remembering me on my birthday. Only don't think because I'm 60, I'd be a bigger damn fool and easier mark than ever. No, by gee. It's like Hickey says, this is the start of a new day. This dump's got to be run like other dumps, so that I can make some money and not just break even. People have got to pay me what they owe me. I'm not running an orphan asylum for crooks and bums, nor a damned hooker shanty either, nor an old men's home for lousy anarchist tramps that ought to be in jail. I'm sick of being played for a sucker. Don't think you're kidding me right now either. Oh, I know you're all giving me the laugh behind my back and thinking to yourselves, the old lying, pipe-dreaming faker. We've heard he's bull about taking a walk around the ward for years. He'll never make it. He's yellow. He ain't got the guts. He's afraid he'll find out. But I'll show you, Majee. And I'll show you too, you lousy son of a frying pan pissing bastard.
That's the stuff, Harry. That's exactly what I want you to do.
Oh, listen, all of you. Majee, I am sorry. I lost my temper. I'm not feeling well. I've got a hell of a grouch on. Oh, you know, you're all as welcome as the flowers in May.
Oh, sure, boss. You're always aces with us, see?
Oh, listen, everybody, I guess this is the spot where I owe it to you to do a little explaining and apologize for some of the rough stuff I had to pull on you. But it simply had to be done. You must believe that. You know old Hickey. He was never one to start trouble. But I had to this time for your own good. I had to make you help me with each other. You see, I saw what I had to do. I couldn't do alone, not in the time at my disposal. I knew when I came here I wouldn't be able to stay with you long. I'm scheduled to leave on a long trip. But here's the point again. I would never have acted the way I have if I wasn't sure it would be worth it to you in the end.
when you're rid of the damn guilt that makes you lie to yourselves you're something you're not, and the remorse that nags at you and makes you hide behind lousy pipe dreams about tomorrow. You'll be in it today, where there is no yesterday or tomorrow to worry about. You won't give a damn what you are anymore. And I wouldn't say this unless I knew, brothers and sisters, this peace is real. It is a fact. I know because I got it here, right in front of you, right now. Well, I guess that's about all for me for the present, boys and girls. So come on, let's get on with the party.
Wait. I think it would help us poor pipe-dreaming sinners along the sawdust trail to salvation if you told us now what it was happened that converted you to this great peace of yours.
Yeah.
You didn't deny it when I asked you about the Iceman, I noticed. Did this great revelation of the evil habit of dreaming about tomorrow come to you when you found out your wife was sick of you?
Gee, you've hit it, Larry. I've noticed he hasn't shown his picture around this time.
He hasn't got it. The Iceman took it away from him.
Yeah, just look at him. Who would blame her? She must have been pretty hard up to fall for the Iceman.
Letting a sack like him advising Chuck and me to get married.
Yeah, he done so good with it.
At least I can say Marjorie chose an officer and a gentleman.
Look at you, Hickey, old chap. You sprouted horns like a bloody antelope.
Bigger, by God. Like a border buffalo.
Come up, she cried, my Iceman lad, and you and I'll agree, and I'll show you the prettiest that ever you did see.
Well, I'm glad to see you're all getting in such good spirits for Harry's birthday party, even if the joke is on me. I admit, I asked for it in the old days by pulling that Iceman gag on you. So go ahead and laugh all you like.
Well, this forces my hand. I guess you're bringing up the subject of Evelyn. Didn't want to tell you yet. It's hardly an appropriate time. I wanted to wait till the party was over. But you're getting the wrong idea about Evelyn, and I've got to put a stop to that. Now, I'm sorry to tell you my dearly beloved wife is dead.
I felt you brought the touch of death on him. Forgive me, Hickey. I'd like to cut out my dirty tongue.
Sorry, Hickey.
Sorry.
Oh, now listen, everybody. Don't let this be a wet blanket. You're still getting me all wrong. There's no reason. You see, I don't feel any grief. No, I've got to be glad for her sake. Because now she's at peace. She's rid of me at last. Hell, I don't have to tell you. You all know what I was like. You can imagine what she went through, married to a no-good cheater and drunk like I was. But now she's at peace, where she's always longed to be. So why should I feel sad? She wouldn't want me to feel sad. Why, all that Evelyn ever wanted out of life was to make me happy.
If I ain't a sap to let Chuck kid me into working his time so he could take the morning off. But I got sick and tired of arguing with him. I says, all right, get married. What's it to me? I think he's got both of them bugs. Some party last night, huh? Jeez, what a funeral. It was jinx from the start. But he's telling about his wife croaking, put the KO on it.
It turned out it wasn't a birthday feast, but a wake.
And all the gang sneaking upstairs, leaving free booze and eats like they was poisoned. It didn't do them no good if they thought they'd shake him. He's been hopping from room to room all night. You can't stop him. He's got his reform wave going strong this morning. Did you notice him drag Jimmy out the first thing to get his laundry and his clothes pressed so he wouldn't have an excuse? And all the rest have been brushing and shaving themselves with the shakes.
He didn't come to my room. He was afraid I might ask him a few questions.
Yeah? Don't look to me. He was scared of you. I'd say you was scared of him.
You'd lie, then.
Don't let him kid you, Rocky. He kept his door locked. I couldn't get in either.
Yeah, who you think you're kidding, Larry? He showed you up all right. Like he says, if you were so anxious to croak, why didn't you hop off your fire escape long ago?
Because it would be a coward's quitting, that's why.
He's all quitter, Rocky.
You lying punk. Remember what I
Where'd you get a license to butt in? Shall I give him the bum's rush, Larry? If you don't want him around, nobody else don't.
Let him stay. I don't mind him. He's nothing to me.
You're right. I have nowhere else to go now. You're the only one I have left to turn to.
You're a soft old sap, Larry. He's a no-good louse like Hickey. He don't belong. I'm all in. Not a wink of sleep. I can't keep my peepers open.
I'm sorry for writing you, Larry. But you get my goat when you act as if you don't give a damn about what happened to me, and you keep your door locked so I can't even talk to you. But that was to keep Hickey out, wasn't it? I don't blame you. I'm getting to hate him. I'm getting more and more scared of him. Especially since he told us his wife was dead. It's that queer feeling he gives me, that I'm mixed up with him in some way. I don't know why, but it started me thinking about Mother. As if she were dead. I suppose she might as well be. Inside herself, I mean. It must kill her when she thinks about me. After all, I'm her only kid. Do you know, Larry? I once had the sneaking suspicion that if the truth were really known, you were my father.
Hey, you damn fool. Who put that insane idea in your head? You know it's a lie. Why, anyone in the coast crowd could tell you that I never laid eyes on your mother until after you were born.
Well, I'd hardly ask them, would I? You're right, I know. Because I asked her. She brought me up to be frank and ask her anything. She'd always tell me the truth. No, but I was talking about how she must feel about me now. The movement is her life. It must be the final knockout for her if she was to know that I was the one who sold her.
Shut up, damn you.
It'll kill her. And I'm sure she knows it must have been me. But I never thought the cops would get her. Please believe that. Oh, I know. I'll admit what I told you last night was a lie. All that bunk about my getting patriotic and my duty to my country. But here's the true reason, Larry. The only reason. It's just for money. I got stuck in abroad and I wanted dough to blow in her and have a good time. That's all I did it for, just money.
Hell, you shut up. What the hell is it to me anyway?
What's coming off it?
Nothing. It's Gabby young punk is talking my ear off, that's all. He's a worse pest than Hickey.
Oh, yeah, Hickey. Say, what do you mean about him being scared you'd ask him questions? What questions?
I think he's hiding something, that's what. You notice he didn't say what his wife died of.
Oh, lay off for that, the poor guy. What are you getting at anyway? You don't think it's just a gag of his?
I don't. So damn sure that he brought death here with him. I could feel the cold touch of it on him.
Oh, bunk. You've got croaking on a brain, old cemetery. Say, you mean she committed suicide on account of his cheating or something?
It wouldn't surprise me. I'd be the last to blame him.
But that's crazy. Geez, if he'd done that, he wouldn't tell us he was glad about it, would he? He ain't that big of a bastard, is he?
You know better than that, Larry. You know she'd never commit suicide. She's like you. She'll hang on to life even when there's...
How about you? You got any guts or decency?
Well, I suppose I'd take that hop off that fire escape you're too yellow to take.
Who am I to judge? I'm through with judging.
Yes, I suppose you'd like that.
What the hell is this about? What do you know about Hickey's wife? How do you know she didn't...
He doesn't. Hickey's addled what little brains he's got. Show him back to his table. I'm sick of it.
You heard Larry. I'd like an excuse to give you a good punch in the snoot, so move quick.
if you think moving will get rid of me.
She committed suicide. You gotta feel sorry for Hickey, huh? You can understand how we go bug house and I'll be responsible for all the crazy stunts he's staging here. But how can you feel sorry for him? When you know he says he's glad she done it and you can tell he means it. Nuts. I don't get nowhere trying to figure his game. But I know this. You better lay off of me in my stable. Oh, gee, Larry. What a night them two pigs give me. When the party went dead, they pinched a couple of bottles and brung it up their room and got stinker. I don't get a wink of sleep, see? Just as I dropped off on a chair there, they come down looking for trouble. Or else they raise hell upstairs, laughing and singing. So then I get scared. They get the joint pinched and go up and tell them to can the noise. And every time they call my flame with the same old argument. So you agree with Hickey, do you dirty little guinea? So we're who's, are we? Well, we agree with Hickey about you, see? You're nothing but a lousy pimp, and I slapped him. Oh, not beat him up like a pimp, would you? Slap him. But it don't do no good. They keep at it over and over. Gee, I get the earache just thinking of it. Listen, they say, if we're who's, we got a right to have a regular pimp and not stand for no punk imitation. We're sick of wearing out our dogs, pounding sidewalks for a double-crossing bartender when all the thanks we get is he looks down on us. We're going to find us a guy who really needs us to take care of him and ain't ashamed of it. We're going on strike, and you can like it or lump it. Who's going on strike? Can you tie that? They'd say, we're taking a holiday. We're going to beat it to Coney Island and shoot the chutes, and maybe we'll come back, and maybe we won't, and you can go to hell. So they put on their lids and beat it. The both of them stinker.
Rocky. Cora wants a sherry flip for her nerves.
Sherry flip. She don't need nothing for her nerve. What does she think this is, the Waldorf?
I told her, what will we use for sherry? There wasn't no egg unless she laid one. She says, is there a law you can't go out and buy the makings, you big tramp? Oh, the hell with her. She'll drink booze or nothing.
Oh, gee. The guy ought to buy his bride anything on the wedding day she wants, I should think. Pipe the bridegroom, Larry, all dolled up for the killing.
Ah, shut up.
One day on that farm in Jersey, that's what I'll give you. Then you'll come running in here some night yelling for a shot of booze because the crickets is after you. Jeez, Chuck, that lousy Hickey certainly made a prize couple of suckers out of you.
What's he got to do with it? And we always said we was going to. Well, we're going to, see? Now, don't give me no arguments. Cora, only give me a minute's rest all night. Same old stuff over and over. Do I really want to marry her? I says, sure, baby, why not? She says, yeah, but after a week you'll be thinking what a sap you was. You make that an excuse to go off on a periodical. And then I'll be tied for life to a no-good soak. And the first thing I know, you'll have me out hustling again, your own wife. And she busts out crying. That makes me mad. I say, I wish I was drunk right now. Because if I was, you wouldn't be keeping me awake all night beefing. You open your yap and I knock the stuffings out of you. And she yells, that's a sweet way to talk to the girl you're gonna marry. Oh, gee. She's got me hanging by the ropes. I wish I had a quart of this red eye under my belt right now.
Well, why the hell don't you?
Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you? I'm wise to you. You don't want to see me get married and settle down like a regular guy. You'd like me to stay paralyzed all the time so I could be like you, a lousy pimp.
Listen! I don't take that even from you, see?
Oh, you want to make something of it? No, don't make me laugh. You see, I can beat 10 of you with one mitt.
No, I wouldn't let in your belly, you won't.
Oh, Chuck, Rocky, come on, cut it out.
I'll cut your guts out, you dirty nigger. That's it. Go on, murder each other, you damn crazy loons, with Hickey's blessing. Didn't I tell you he brought death here with him, huh?
All right, you. Let go of that shiv and I'll put this gat away.
Hello, little people. Never mind. Soon you will eat hot dogs beneath the willow trees and drink free wine. That champagne was not properly iced. Rotten damn liar, Hickey. Does that prove I want to be aristocrat? I love only the proletariat. I will lead them. I will be like a god to them. They will be my slaves. Oh! I'm very drunk, old lady. I talk foolishness. I'm so drunk, Larry, old friend. Am I not? I don't know what I say.
Yes, you're raving drunk, Hugo. I've never seen you so plastered. Lay your head down now. Sleep it off.
Yeah, I should sleep. I'm so crazy drunk.
The bread's cut and my job's finished. Do I get the drink I earned? I'm finished with this dump for keeps. There's a key to my room. I ain't coming back. I'm going to my own folks where I belong. I don't stay where I ain't wanted. Sick and tired of messing around with white men.
What the hell?
I'm just saving you the trouble, white boy. Now you don't have to break it as soon as my back's turned, so no white man will kick about drinking from the same glass. I'm tired of loafing around with a lot of bums. I'm a gambling man. I'm gonna get in a big crap game. Yeah. Then I'm gonna win me a big bankroll. Then I'm gonna come back here, and after I get my gambling house open for colored men, I'm gonna visit the bums. Yeah. Maybe I throw a $20 bill on the bar, and I say, drink it up. And listen while you pat me on the back. And you say, Joe, you sure is white. But I'll say, no, I'm black. And my dough is black man's dough. And you proud to drink with me. Else you don't get no dough. No drink. Or maybe I'll just say you can all go to hell. I don't lower myself drinking with no white trash. And that ain't no pipe dream. I'll get the dough for my steak today, somehow, somewhere. If I gotta borrow a gun someplace and stick up some white man. I get it. You wait and see.
Can you beat the nerve of that dinge? If I wasn't dressed up, I'd go out and mop up the street with him.
Let him go. Him and his gambling house. He'll be coming back tonight asking Harry for his room and bumming me for a ball. Then I'll be the one that smashed the glass. I'll loan him his little place.
Oh, here's another one, all dolled up.
You look sick, Willie. Here, take a ball. I'll pick you up.
Well, thanks. The only way to stop is to stop. I have no chance if I went to the DA's office smelling of booze.
Oh, you really going there?
I said I was, didn't I? I came back here to rest a few minutes, not because I needed any booze. Cheap drummer, I don't have to have any Dutch courage. He's been very kind and considerate staking me. He can't help his insulting manner, I suppose. My feet are a bit shaky yet. I better rest for a few minutes.
Here's another one.
Good morning, gentlemen all, and a jolly fine morning it is, too. Yes. An eye opener? No. I think not Rocky. It's not required, old chum. I feel extremely fit, as a matter of fact. I can't say I slept much thanks to that interfering ass Hickey and that stupid bounder of a bar. I've had all about it. All I can take from that fellow. This was my own fault, of course, for allowing a brute of a Dutch farmer to become familiar. But it's come to the parting of the ways now, and good riddance. Which reminds me, here's my key. I shan't be coming back, you know. Oh, no. Sorry to be leaving good old Harry and the rest of you, but I cannot bear to spend another day under the same roof with that... Oh, good Lord. So Hickey's kidded the pants off for you, too, huh? You think you're leaving here, huh?
Yeah. That's what he kids himself.
Yes, I am leaving, as a matter of fact, Rocky, but that ass Hickey has nothing to do with it. I've been thinking things over. It's time I turned over a new leaf.
He's going to get a job. That's what he says.
What at? What at? Well, anything. I mean, nothing manual, of course. Anything that requires a little bit of brains and education. There's a pal of mine at the consulate. He promised that any time I felt an energetic that he'd get me a post for the Cunard, clerk in the office, something of the sort, you know.
Yeah. The limey consulate, they promised him anything to get rid of him. They're afraid to call the police and have him pinched for fear what a scandal make about a limey officer under gentlemen.
As a matter of fact, Rocky, I only wish a post temporarily. Means to an end, you know, save up enough for a first-class passage home.
Yeah, he's going to sail away to home sweet home. That's the biggest pipe dream of them all. But little brains that poor limey has, that whiskey hasn't mixed up, that Hickey has made crazy.
Hickey ain't made no sucker out of you, huh?
You're too foxy. But you think you're going out and land a job, too.
I am, yeah. And for me, it's easy, because I put on no airs of gentleman. I'm not afraid to work with my hands.
There was a rumor in South Africa, Rocky, that a certain Boer officer, if you can call the leaders of a rabble of farmers' officers, kept advising Cronje to retreat and not to stand and fight.
And I was right. He was surrounded at Pointe de Bêche. He had to surrender there.
Good strategy, no doubt, but a suspicion grew into a conviction among the Boers that the officer's caution was prompted by a desire to make his personal escape. Oh, his countrymen were extremely savage about it, and his family disowned him. So I imagine there would be no welcoming committee waiting on the dock for him, nor delighted relatives making the felt ring with their happy cries.
Lies! All lies, you hot verdammte limey! I, too, have heard rumors about a limey officer and a gentleman who, after the war, gambled away all his money when he was drunk. Only it was regiment money he gambled away.
Come on,
Let him come.
Then you can't say that Hickey hasn't the miraculous touch to raise the dead when he can start the Boer War raging again.
Yes, well, it's just time I was on my merry way to see the chap at the consulate. The early bird catches the job, what? Yes, well, goodbye, Rocky, and good luck, everyone.
Well, if that bloody limey can go, I can go.
Well, why don't you beat it? Well, I just happened to think. I mean, it's hardly the decent thing to pop off without saying goodbye to good old Harry. I mean, he's one of the best, old Harry, and good old Jimmy, too. Well, they ought to be down at any moment now. I'm sorry, I seem to be blocking your way out.
Oh, no. I just wait to say goodbye to Harry and Jimmy, too.
See? Can you beat them simps? Well, I forgot Cora. She'll be throwing a fit.
That's right. Wait on her and spoil her, you poor sap.
Dear Parrot, I'd like to have a talk with you. What about? About the trouble you're in. Oh, I know you don't admit it. You're quite right. That's my advice. Deny everything. Keep your mouth shut. Make no statements whatever without first consulting your attorney. Say, what the hell Well, you can trust me. I'm a lawyer. And it just occurred to me that you and I ought to cooperate. Of course, I'm going to the DA's office this morning to see about a job on his staff, but that may take time. Meanwhile, it would be a good idea for me to take a case or two on my own to prove that my brilliant record in law school was no flash in the pan. So why not retain me as your attorney? You're crazy. What do I want with a lawyer? That's right. Don't admit anything, but you can trust me. So let's not beat around the bush, huh? Remember, they get you in. I know from my father's experience. No one could have felt safer than him when anybody mentioned the law. He nearly died laughing.
What? Did you get that, Larry? This damn fool thinks the cops are after me.
I wish to God they were, and so should you if you had the honor of a louse.
And you're the guy who kids himself he's through with the movement? Why, you lying old faker. You're still in love with it. And you're not in any trouble, Parrot? I was hoping that, That's all right. No offense meant. Forget it. Oh, no, that's all right, Willie. I'm not sore at you.
It's this damned old faker that gets my goat.
That's really Mother you still love, isn't it? But I can understand how you still can't help feeling it. Because I love her, too. You know I do, don't you? So you see, I couldn't have expected that they would be caught. You've got to believe me. It was just to get a few lousy dollars to blow in on a broad. And no other reason. Honest. That's all I did it for.
For the love of God, I told you can't make me judge. If you don't keep quiet, you'll be saying something soon that'll make you vomit your own soul. Like a drink of rocket that won't stay down. To hell with you.
Please, Larry. You've got to help me.
Shut him up, Rocky. I swore I'd have no drinks with Hickey if I died of drought, but I've changed my mind. Emmy owes it to me, and I'd get blind to the world today if it was the Iceman of Death himself treating. Let me say that, I wonder. Damn it, Sid. Death was the Iceman that Hickey called to his home.
Well, good morning, Rocky. Hello, Larry. Boy, I'm glad to see that Brother Hickey hasn't corrupted you to temperance. Ooh, I wouldn't mind a shot myself. No, much as I need it. After the hell of a night I spent with that drummer, summon of a drummer, you know that I had to lock him out? But I could still hear him doing his spiel through the door all night long. He was still at it with Harry and Jimmy when I came down just now. Oh, but the hardest to take was that flannel mouth, flatfoot Mick trying to tell me where to get off. I'd lock him out, too.
He's a liar, Rocky. It was me locked him out. You're just the man I want to see. If I'm to handle your case, we better have a talk before we leave. We'll have no talk. You think I want your father's son as my lawyer? They take one look at you and bounce us both out on our necks. I don't need a lawyer anyway. All I've got to do is see the right ones and get them to pass the word along. They will, too. They know I was framed.
Oh, God, I'll be glad to leave this crazy house. There's my key, Rocky.
And here's mine. I'd rather sleep in the gutter than spend another night under the same roof with that loon Hickey and a lying circus grifter. And if that hat fits anyone here, let him put it on.
Why, you...
Oh, Rocky!
Oh, get... Nice!
Take it easy. The birds give me a pain. It'd serve you right if I wouldn't give you the keys back to you tonight.
Hello, everybody. Here we go. Hickey said, hadn't we better beat it if we're really going? So we're showing that no good drummer, ain't we, honey? He's upstairs with Harry and Jimmy. Geez, them two look like they was going to the electric chair. Hey, come on, honey, let's get out of here.
Sure, anything
before
you
he
say,
comes
baby.
down. Anything...
Sure.
Yeah? Well, I say we stop at the first regular dump we come to, and you gotta blow me to a sherry flip. Or 4 or 5 if I want 'em. Or else all bets are off.
You've got a big bun on now.
I know what's eating you. Tight wad, all right. We'll use my dough then. You take it all right after the ceremony anyway, so I know you here.
Keep your lousy dog. Don't show off your legs to these bums when you're going to be married if you don't want a suck in the puss.
All right, honey. Hey. Why don't all you barflies come to the wedding? Well, here we go, guys. Hey. Wait, Rocky, what are you deep or something? I said Chuck and me was going.
Well, goodbye. Give my love to Jersey.
Aren't you going to wish us happiness, you dirty little guinea?
Sure. Just hoping you don't murder each other before next week.
Oh, baby, come on. What do we care for that pimp? Here's Hickey coming now. Let's get out of here.
One regular guy and an all-right tot gone to hell. That last Hickey ought to be croaked.
Well, here we are. We got this far, at least.
Good work, Jimmy.
I told you weren't half as sick as you pretended. No excuse whatever for...
Now, thank you for
postponing the-
taking your hands off me. I merely mentioned that I'd feel more fit tomorrow. Mine's on me today, I suppose.
Finish it now, so it'll be dead forever and you can be free.
Oh, cheer up, Governor. You found your rheumatism didn't bother you coming downstairs, didn't you? You're the damnedest one for alibis, Governor. As bad as Jimmy.
What's that? Can't hear you. You're a liar. I've had rheumatism off and on for the last 20 years, ever since Bessie died. Everyone knows that.
Yes, everyone knows it's the kind of rheumatism you turn off and on. Oh, we're on to you, you old faker.
Well, what were all you bums staring at? Think you was watching a circus? Go on off about your business like Hickey told you.
Yes, Harry, I certainly thought they'd have the guts to be gone by this time.
Or maybe I did have my doubts. Because I know exactly what you're up against, boys. I know how damn yellow a man can be when it comes to facing himself. And yet, as I've told you over and over, it's exactly those damn tomorrow dreams which keeps a man from making peace with himself. So you've got to kill him, like I did mine.
Well, come on, boys. Let's get moving. Who'll start the ball rolling? You, Captain. And you, General, you're nearest the door. Besides, you're old war heroes. Come on, show us some of that good old battle of Monte River spirit we've heard so much about. Well, you can't sit around here all day acting as if you were scared the street outside would bite you.
Right you are, Mr. Bloody Dozy Parker. It's time I was off. I stayed behind to say goodbye to you, Harry, old chum.
Goodbye, Captain. Hope you have luck.
Oh, I'm bound to, I'm bound to. What? All right. If that lousy Liney can go, I can go.
Next. Come on, Ed. It's a fine summer's day, and I'm sure the lure of the old circus lot must be in your blood. That's the stuff, man. Goodbye, Harry.
That lying grifter has the guts. Bye, Harry. Thanks for all your kindness.
Bye, Willie.
That's the way, Willie. The DA's a busy man. He can't wait all day for you know. And now it's your turn, Jimmy, old pal. Oh, not Jimmy. You can't do that to yourself. Why, one drink on top of that hangover and an empty stomach and you'll be awry-eyed tomorrow.
I will tomorrow. I'll be all right tomorrow. All right. I'm going. Take your hands off me.
It's the spirit. You'll thank me when it's all over.
Dirty fine.
Well, all set for an alcohol rub, huh? No hard feelings. I know how he feels. I've seen the day when if anyone forced me to face the truth, I'd have shot him dead. Well, Governor, Jimmy made the grade. It's up to you. Oh, now, come on, Harry. If he's got the guts to go through with it...
Leave Harry alone.
Oh, I'd make up my mind about myself if I was you, Larry, and not bother over Harry. He'll come through all right. I promised him that. He doesn't need anyone's bum pity. Do you, Governor?
No, Big G. You keep your nose out of this, Larry. I've always been meaning to take this walk, ain't I? What's to be scared of in taking a quiet stroll around my own ward? What's the weather like outside, Rocky?
Fine day, boss.
Well, it don't look fine to me. Looks as though it'll rain cats and dogs any minute. Ooh, my rheumatism. No, it's me eyes. Half blind, bejee. Makes things look black. I see. It is a fine day now. Huh. Too damned hot for walking, if you ask me. Oh, well, it might do me good. Sweat some of the booze out of me. Oh, I've got to watch out for them automobiles, though. You know, there was none of them around the last time 20 years ago. And from what I can see of them from the window there, they'd run over you as soon as look at you. Yeah. Well, not that I'm scared of them. Well able to look after myself. Well, so long, fellas. Well, come on, Hickey. It's time we got started.
Oh, no, Harry. Can't be done. You've got to keep a date with yourself alone.
Well, a hell of a guy you are. I thought you'd be willing to see me across the street. Seeing I'm half blind and deaf, too. Can't hear those damned automobiles. Well, to hell with you. I've never needed no one's help, and I don't know. You know what gets me, Hickey, is I can't help thinking the last time I went through that door, it was to poor Bessie's funeral. After she'd gone, I didn't feel life was worth living. Swore I'd never go out again. Somehow, it doesn't feel right for me to go even now, Hickey. It's like as if I was doing wrong to her memory.
Now, Governor, you can't let yourself get away with that one anymore.
I remember now as clear as day the last time. Aye, it was just before she... It was a fine Sunday morning. We was going out to church
It's
together.
a great act, Governor, a great act. But you know better, and so do I. You never did want to go to church or any place else with her. She was always on your neck, making you go out and do things, when all you wanted to do was get drunk in peace.
You're a damn liar. If there was a mad dog outside, I'd go and shake hands with him rather than stay here with you.
Aha! Gee, he made it. I'd have give you 50 to 1. He'd never make it. He stopped. I'll bet you he'll be coming back.
Sure, he's coming back. So are all the others. By the night, they'll all be here again. You dumbbell, that's the whole point.
No, he ain't neither. He's gone to the curb. He's looking up and down, scared stiff of automobiles. There ain't more than 2 an hour. Comes down the street, the old boob.
Now it's my turn, I suppose. You think when I say that I'm finished with life, that I'll welcome closing my eyes in the long sleep of death? You think that's a coward's lie?
But what do you think, Larry?
So I'm afraid to live, am I? And even more afraid to die, so I sit here with my pride drowned in the bottom of a bottle so that I can't see myself shaking in my breeches with fright or hear myself whining and praying, beloved Christ, let me live a little longer, if only for a few days or a few hours even. Have mercy, Almighty God. Let me still clutch greedily to my heart this sweet treasure, this jewel beyond price, the dirty, stinking bit of withered old flesh that's my beautiful little life. You think you'll make me admit that to myself?
But you just did admit it. That's the stuff, Hickey. Show the old faker up. He can't play that on me like this. He's got to help me. Yes, Larry, you've got to settle with him. I'm leaving you entirely in his hands. He'll do as good a job as I could at making you give up that old grandstand bluff.
I'll see the two of you in hell first.
Jeez! Harry started across the street. He's gonna fool you, Hickey. What the hell is he stopping for? Right in the middle of the street. You think he was paralyzed or something? Oh, he's quitting. He's turned back. Gee, look at that old bastard travel. Here he comes.
Oh, Rocky, give me a drink, please. Oh, gee, that scared me out of a year's growth. Oh, that guy ought to be pinched. Oh, it's not safe walking on the streets. Oh, that ends it for me. Give me that bottle. You seen it, didn't you, Rocky?
Seen what?
That automobile, you dumb wop. Gee, the guy driving it must be drunk or crazy. He'd have run over me if I hadn't jumped. Larry, have a drink. Ah, come on. Everybody have a drink. Rocky, have a cigar. I know you hardly ever touch it.
This is one time I do touch it. And I'm going to get stinko, see? And if you don't like it, you know what you can do. Jeez, Harry, I thought you had some guts. I was betting you'd make it and show that four-flusher up. Automobile, hell. Who do you think you're kidding? There was no automobile. You just quit cold.
Well, Fitchy, I ought to know it. It almost killed me.
Now, Governor. Don't be foolish. You faced the test and come through. You're rid of all that nagging dream stuff now. You know you can't believe it anymore.
Larry, you seen it, didn't you? Oh, come on. Have a drink, Larry. Have all you want. Ah, we'll go on a grand old souse together, Larry. You saw that automobile, didn't you, Larry?
Sure I saw it, Harry. You had a narrow escape. Damn, I thought you were gonna.
What in the hell is the matter with you, Larry? You know what I told you about the wrong kind of pity. Leave Harry alone. Do you think I was trying to harm him, the fool way you act? My oldest friend. What kind of a louse do you think I am? There isn't anything I wouldn't do for Harry. All I'm trying to do is to fix it so he'll finally be at peace with himself for the rest of his days. And if you'll just wait until the final returns are in, you'll find out that's exactly what I've done.
Come on now, Governor. Don't be stubborn now that it's all over and dead. Give up that ghost automobile.
Yes. What's the use now? All a lie. There was no automobile. But something ran over me. Must have been myself. I guess I'll sit down. I feel all in. Like a corpse speech. Hello, Hugo. Coming up for air? Stay passed out. That's the right dope. There ain't any cool willow trees. Unless you grow your own in a bottle.
Hello, little Harry. Little monkey face. We will drink champagne beneath the willow tree. But the slaves must ice it properly. Rotten, damned, hickey. Peddler pimp for nouveau riche capitalism. When I lead the jackass mob to the sack of Babylon, I will make them hang him to a lamppost the first one.
Good work. I'll help pull on the rope. Have a drink, Hugo.
Oh, no, thank you. I'm too drunk now. I hear myself say crazy things. Do not listen, please. Larry will tell you, I have never been so crazy drunk. I must sleep it off. What's the matter, Harry? You look funny. You look dead. What's the matter? I don't know you. Listen, I feel I'm dying too because I'm so crazy drunk. It's very necessary that I sleep. I can't sleep here with you. You look dead.
Another one has begun to enjoy your peace.
Huh? Oh, I know it's tough on him right now, but that's only the first shock. They'll both come through all right
You believe that? I see you do. You mad fool.
Well, of course I believe it. I tell you, I know from my own experience.
Close that big clam of yours, Hickey. You're a worse gabber than that nagging bitch Bessie ever was.
Jeez, did you hear that?
What's wrong with the booze? There's no life in it.
Jeez, Larry, you got it right. He does look like he croaked.
Don't be a damn fool. Give him time, he'll come through all right. You're all right, aren't you, Harry?
I want to pass out like Hugo.
It's the piece of death you brought in.
That's a lie! Well, you did manage to get a ride out of that, didn't you, Larry? It's just that I think such a hell of a lot of Harry. How's it coming, Governor? Getting over the first shock. Relieved and not guilty anymore.
You've been monkeying with the booze, too, you interfering bastard. There's no life in it anymore. I want to pass out. Let's all pass out. Who the hell cares?
Well, I admit I didn't think it would hit him quite so hard. He's always been such a happy-go-lucky slob like I was. Of course, it hit me hard, too. But only for a minute. And then I felt as if a ton of guilt had been lifted off my mind. And I knew what had happened was the only possible way for the peace of all concerned.
What was it, Hammond? Tell us that. Don't try to get out of it. I want a straight answer. I think it's something you drove someone else to do.
Someone else?
How did your wife die? I noticed you kept that a pretty big secret so far. For some reason.
Well, that's not very considerate of you, Larry. But if you insist on knowing, there's no reason why you shouldn't. It was a bullet through the head that killed Evelyn.
So you drove your poor wife to suicide, huh? I know it. But then I don't blame her. I do almost as much myself to get rid of you. It's what you'd like to drive us all to do. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Rotten louse to shove that in your face.
Oh, that's all right, Larry. But don't jump at conclusions. I didn't say poor Evelyn committed suicide. Why, it's the last thing she'd ever have done as long as I was alive for her to take care of and forgive. I mean, if you'd known her at all, you'd never get such a crazy suspicion. No, I'm sorry to tell you, my poor wife was killed.
She was murdered?
You're a liar, Larry. You must be crazy to say that to me. You know she's still alive.
Murdered? Who done it?
Well, ask questions you don't want. It's none of our business. Leave Hickey alone.
Still the old grandstand bluff, huh, Larry? Or is it some more of your bum pity?
The police don't know who did it yet, Rocky, but I expect they will before long.
Well, coming along fine now, aren't you, Governor? Beginning to feel free from lying hopes and guilt and at peace.
Somebody croaked your Evelyn. My bets are on the Iceman. And who the hell cares? What did you do to the booze, Hickey? There's no life in it.
Don't look at me like that, Larry. You've got to believe what I told you. It had nothing to do with her. Just to get a few lousy dollars.
Buy me a drink, don't be fool. But no more wine. It's not been properly iced. You're rotten, damn stupid proletarian slaves. Buy me a drink or I'll have you shot. Oh, please, for God's sake. I cannot sleep. I am not drunk enough. Oh. Life is a crazy monkey face. Always there's blood beneath the willow trees. I hate it. I'm afraid. Oh, please. I'm crazy drunk. I say crazy things. Oh, for God's sake, don't listen to me.
You're beginning to worry me, Governor. Something's holding you up somewhere. I don't see why. You've done what you had to do to get rid of your nagging pipe dream. Oh, I know it knocks you cold, but only for a minute. And then you'll see it was the only possible way to peace. And you'll feel happy, like I did. That's what worries me about you, Governor. It's time you began to feel happy.
Come on, nigga. Beat in the back room. It's after all. Oh, the hell with it. Let the dump get pushed. I'm through with this lousy job. Who's that? Been scrapping, huh? Start it off on your periodical, eh?
Yeah. Ain't you glad? What's it to you?
Not a thing. But this is something to me. I'm out on my feet holding down your job. You said if I take your day, it'll leave me at 6. Well, it's 1:30 a.m. When you're taking over now, get me, no matter how flat the job.
Blasted hell. I wished I was. I lapped up a gallon, but it don't hit me right. What the hell with the job? I'm telling Harry I'm quitting. What a prize sap you've been. Tending bar when you got 2 good hustlers in your stable.
Yeah, but I ain't no sap now. I'll learn them when they get back from Coney. Gee, that chorus sure played you for a dope. Feeding you that marriage on a farm hop.
Yeah, Hickey got the right dope. It was pulling them sherry flips on me woke me up. All the way walking to the ferry. Every gin mill we come to, she dragged me in. I got to thinking. Gee, what won't she want when she gets the ring on her finger? And I'm hooked. So I tells her at the ferry, kiddo, you can go to Jersey or to hell. But count me out.
Oh, she said it was I told you to go to hell because you start hitting the booze.
And I got to thinking, too. Gee, won't I look sweet with a wife that if you put all the guys she stayed with side by side, they reach to Chicago? Yeah, that kind of dame. You can't trust him. The minute your back is turned out, cheating with the Iceman or somebody. Hickey done me a favor, waking me up. It was fun, kind of. Me and Cora, kidding ourselves. And where's that no-good bastard Hickey? And I want just one suck at that guy.
Piano!
Just one!
Piano, keep away from him!
Fuck little no more!
Keep away from
I'm gonna take a chance on going to the chair!
Piano! He ain't here now anyway. He went out the phone. He said he wouldn't call from here. But I got a hunch he beat it. But if he does come back, you don't know him. If anyone asks, you get me? The chair. Maybe that's where he's going. I don't know nothing, see? But it looks like he croaked his wife.
You mean she really was cheating on him? And I don't blame the guy.
I don't give a damn what he done to his wife. But if he gets the hot seat, I won't go until no morning.
Oh, me neither.
Not after he's thrown it in my face, I'm a pimp. What if I am? Why the hell not? What's he done to her? Gee, the poor old slob is so licked he can't even get drunk. And all the gang, they're all licked. Jimmy tomorrow was the last. Schwartz the copper brung him in. Saw him sitting on a dock looking at the water and crying. Jeez, there ain't enough guts left in the whole gang to bottle a mosquito.
Ah, the hell with it. Who cares? Give me a drink. Hey, I see you've been hitting the red eye, too.
Yeah, but it don't do no good. I can't get drunk right. That dirty dinge was able to get a snoot full and pass out. Gee, even Hickey can't phase a nigger. You think he was phased? You seen him come in, stinko, and he pulled out a gun and said he'd plug Hickey for insulting him, and then dropped it and begun to cry. He said he wasn't a gambling man or a tough guy no more. He was yellow.
He's got no business in a bar after hours. Why don't you chuck him out?
Oh, the hell with it. Who cares?
I don't.
Excuse me, white boys. Excuse me for living. I don't stay where I ain't wanted.
My pig's in the back room, ain't she? Well, I'm gonna collect the dough I wouldn't take this morning like a sucker before she blows it.
Yeah, I'm coming too. I'm through working. I ain't no lousy bartender.
If you object to my sitting here, Captain, you just tell me and I'll pull my freight.
No apology required, sir, old chum. Anybody could tell you I should feel honored that a bloody Kaffir would lower himself to sit beside me.
I'm waiting, baby. Dick!
Sure. I've been expecting. I got it all ready. Here. Geez, imagine me kidding myself. I wanted to marry a lousy.
That's nothing, baby. Imagine the sap I'd have been when I can get the dough just as easy without it, huh?
Hello there, old cemetery. Hello, tightwad. You still around?
Ask Larry. He knows I'm here all right. Although he's pretending not to. I'd like to forget I'm alive. Still trying to kid himself with that old grandstand philosopher stuff. But he can't get away with it now. Kept himself locked up in his room until just a while ago. Alone with a bottle of booze. But he couldn't make it work. He couldn't even get drunk. He just had to come out. There must have been something there he was even more afraid to face than there was Hickey and me. I guess he got looking at the fire escape, thinking how handy it was if he was really sick of life and only had the guts to die. He's been thinking of me too, Rocky. Trying to figure out a way to get out of helping me. He doesn't want to be bothered understanding. But he does understand all right. He used to love her, too. So he thinks that I ought to take that hop off that fire.
And the hell are you trying to make me your executioner?
Execution? Then do you think that that's...
I don't think anything.
What am I doing here with you, Stu? Remember, I had something on my mind. What? Oh, I got it now. I was thinking how you was both regular guys. I think ain't two guys like them saps to be hanging around like a couple of stew bums and wasting themselves. Oh, not that I blame you for not working. All the suckers work. But there's no percentage in being broke when you can grab good jack for yourself and let someone else work for you. Is there? I mean, like I do. Ain't I right? Sure I am. So don't be a sucker, see? Hey, you ain't a bad-looking guy. You could make a hustler who's a good gal and start a stable, and I'll help you and wise you up to the inside dope on the game. But what about it? What if they do call you dirty names? What the hell do you care any more than I do?
I'm through with all whores. I wish they were all in jail, dead.
Well, you won't touch it, huh? All right, stay a bum. Jeez, Larry. He's one dumb boob, ain't he? Dead from the neck up. He doesn't know a good thing when he sees it. But how about you, Larry? You ain't so dumb, so why not, huh? All the hustlers think you're racist. It'd be a pipe for you, especially with me, to help you and wise you up. You wouldn't have to worry where your next drink's coming from or wear dirty clothes. Well, don't it look good to you?
No, it doesn't look good, Rocky. I mean, the kind of peace that Hickey's brought you. It isn't contented enough if you have to make everyone else a pimp, too.
I'm a sap to waste my time on you. A stew bum is a stew bum, and you can't change him. Jeez. You all ought to get drunk and stage a celebration when that bastard goes to the chair.
I'll celebrate with you and drink long life to him in hell. Oh, the poor mad devil. Oh, pity again, the wrong kind. He'd welcome the chair.
Yes. What are you so damn scared of death for? I don't want your lousy pity.
Gee, I hope he don't come back, Larry. We don't know nothing now. We're only guessing, see? But if that bastard keeps on talking,
He'll come back and he'll keep on talking. He has to. He's lost confidence that the piece he's sold us is the real McCoy, and it's made him uneasy about his own. He'll have to prove
That's a damn lie, Larry. I haven't lost confidence a damn bit. Why should I? By God, whenever I made up my mind to sell someone something I knew they ought to want, I've sold them.
I mean, that isn't very kind of you, Larry. Make a crack like that when I've been doing my best to help.
Keep away from me! I don't know nothing about you, see?
Well. How are we coming along, everybody? I'm sorry I had to leave you for a while, but there was something I had to finally get settled. It's all fixed now.
When are you going to do something about the booze, Icky? We all know you did something to take the life out of it. It's like drinking dishwater. We can't pass out, and you promised us peace.
Oh, for God's sake, Harry, are you still harping on that damn nonsense? You've kept it up all afternoon and night, and now you got everyone else singing the same damn crazy tune. I've had about all I can stand. That's why I...
Excuse me, boys and girls, I didn't mean that.
I'm just worried about you when you play dead on me like this. I thought by the time I got back, you'd be like you ought to be. Oh, but I've explained all that a million times. You've all done what you needed to do. By rights, you should be carefree and contented now, without a single damned hope or lying dream left to torment you. But here you sit, acting like a lot of stiffs, cheating the undertaker. I can't figure, unless it's just your damn pig-headed stubbornness. Oh, hell. Don't act this way with me, gang. You're my old pal. Only friends I ever have. You know, the one thing I want is to see you all happy before I go. Damn little time left now. We've got to get busy right now and find out what's wrong. Oh, can't you appreciate what you've got, for God's sake? Can't you see you're free now to be yourselves without having to feel remorse or guilt or lie to yourselves about reforming tomorrow? There is no tomorrow now. You're rid of it forever. You've killed it. You don't have to give a damn what you are anymore. You've finally got the game of life licked. Can't you see that? Well, then why don't you get pie-eyed and celebrate? Why don't you laugh and sing Sweet Adeline? God. The only reason I can figure is you're putting on this rotten, half-dead act is just to get back at me because you hate my guts. Now, don't do that to me, gang. Makes me feel like hell to think you hate me. It makes me feel you suspect I must have hated you, but that's a lie. Ah, I know. I used to hate everyone in the world that wasn't as rotten a bastard as I was, but that was when I was living in hell, before I faced the truth and saw the one possible way to free poor Evelyn and give her the peace she'd always dreamed about.
Now, put a bag over it. To hell with Evelyn. What if she was cheating? Who the hell cares what you did to her? That's your funeral. We don't give a damn, see? All we want out of you is keep the hell away from us and give us some rest.
The one possible way to make up to her for all I'd made her go through, so she could be rid of me, and I couldn't make her suffer anymore, and she wouldn't have to forgive me again. Now, I saw I couldn't do it by killing myself, as I'd wanted to for a long time. That had been the last straw to her. She'd have died of a broken heart to think I'd do that to her. She'd have blamed herself, too. And I saw I couldn't do it by just running away. She'd have died of grief and humiliation to think I could do that to her. She'd have thought I stopped loving her. You see, I loved Evelyn.
And Evelyn loved me. And that was the trouble. It's so damned easy to find a way out for her if she hadn't loved me so much, or I hadn't loved her. But as it was, there was only one possible way. I had to kill her.
That fool, can't you keep your mouth shut? We may hate you for what you've done to us here this time, but we remember the other times when you brought kindness and laughter instead of death. We don't want to know anything that will make us help send you to the chair.
Oh, shut up, you yellow faker. Can't you face a thing? Wouldn't I deserve the chair, too, if I... It's worse if you kill someone and they have to go on living. I'd welcome the chair. I'd wipe it out. It'd square me with myself.
I wish you'd get rid of that bastard, Larry. I can't have him pretending there's anything in common between him and me. It's what's in your heart that counts. There was love in my heart, not hate.
No, you lie, you lie. I couldn't hate her, I don't. It had nothing to do with her anyway. Ask Larry.
Stop shoving your rotten soul in my lap.
Ah, now don't worry about the chair, Larry. I know it's still tough for you not to be terrified by death. But when you've made peace with yourself like I have, you simply won't give a damn. Now listen, everybody. I made up my mind that the only way to clear things up for you, to show you how carefree and contented you ought to be now that I made you get rid of your pipe dreams, is to show you what a pipe dream did to me and Evelyn. And I'm certain if I tell you about it from the beginning, you'll appreciate what I've done and why I did it and how damn grateful you ought to be instead of hating me. Well, you see, even when we were kids, Evelyn and me, we always loved...
We don't want to hear it. All we want is to pass out in a little peace.
Oh, all right, if that's the way you feel about it. I'm not going to cram it down your throats. I don't have to tell anyone. I don't feel guilty. I'm just worried about you.
What did you do to the booze, Icky? That's what we'd like to hear. We all know you did something to take the life out of it. Ain't that right, Jimmy?
Yes. It's an absurd lie, all my nonsense about tomorrow. Naturally, they'd never give me my position back. I wouldn't dream of asking them. It'd be hopeless. I didn't resign. I got fired for drunkenness. And that was years ago. Much worse now. It was absurd of me to excuse my drunkenness by pretending it was my wife's adultery that ruined my life. As Icky guessed, I was a drunkard before that, long before. I discovered early in life that living frightened me when I was sober. I've forgotten why I married Marjorie. I can't even remember if she was pretty. She was a blonde, I think, but I couldn't swear to it. I had some idea of wanting a home, perhaps. Why Marjorie married me, God knows. It's impossible to believe she loved me. She must have known that I much preferred drinking all night with my pals to being in bed with her. So naturally, she was unfaithful. I didn't blame her. I really didn't care. I was glad to be free. Even grateful to her, I think, for giving me such a good, tragic excuse to drink as much as I damn well pleased.
Guy named Hickman in the back room.
The guy know the names of all the guys.
Listen, you. This is murder. It was Hickman himself phoned in and said we could meet him here around 2.
Oh, so that's who he phoned to. All right, if he asks for it. He's that guy sitting alone. If you want a confession, all you gotta do is listen. He'll tell you all about it. You can't stop the boss to talking.
I've got to tell you. You're being like you are now is all wrong. It gets my goat. It puts things in my mind about myself. It makes me think, if I got balled up about you, how do I know I didn't get balled up about myself?
And that is plain damn foolishness. Why, once you know the story of me and Evelyn, you'll see there wasn't any other possible way out of it for her sake. Only I've got to start way back at the beginning or you won't understand. You see, even as a kid, I was always restless. Had to keep on the go. You know the old saying, minister's sons are sons of guns? Oh, well, that was me and then some. Home was like a jail. And I didn't fall for that religious bunk. Listening to my old man whooping up hellfire and scaring those poor Hoosier suckers into shelling out their dough handed me a laugh. Although I had to hand it to him, though, the way he sold them nothing for something. I guess I'd take after him. Made me such a good salesman. Well, anyway, as I said, home was like a jail, and so was school, and so was that damned hick town. The only place I liked was the pool rooms, where I could smoke sweet Caprals and mop up a couple of beers, thinking I was a real hell-on-wheels sport. Well, we had one hooker shop in town, and of course I liked that, too. Not that I hardly ever had the entrance money. My old man was a tight old bastard. But I used to like to sit around the parlor and joke with the girls, and they liked me, because I could kid them along and make them laugh. Well, you know how a small town is, hmm? Everybody called me a no-good tramp. Well, I didn't give a damn what they said. I hated everybody in that place. That is, except Evelyn. I loved Evelyn, even as a kid. And Evelyn loved me.
I love Mother, Larry. No matter what she did, I still do. Can't you say something?
Yes, sir. As far back as I can remember, Evelyn and I loved each other. She always stuck up for me. Never would believe the gossip, or she'd pretend she didn't. No one could convince her I was no good. Evelyn was stubborn as hell once she'd made her mind up. Even when I'd admit things and ask her forgiveness, she'd make excuses for me and defend me against myself. She'd kiss me, and she'd say she knew I didn't mean it and I wouldn't do it again. And I'd promise I wouldn't. I'd have to promise. She was so sweet and good, even though I knew damn well No, sir, you couldn't stop Evelyn. Nothing on earth could shake her faith in me. Even I couldn't. She was a sucker for a pipe dream. Well, naturally, her family forbid her seeing me. They were one of the town's best. Rich, even for that Hickberg, owned the trolley line and the lumber company. Strict Methodists, too, and oh, they hated my guts. But they couldn't stop Evelyn. She'd sneak notes to me and meet me on the sly. Well, I was getting more restless, and that town was getting more like a jail, and I made up my mind I had to beat it. Now, I knew what I wanted to be by then. I'd met a lot of drummers around the hotel, and I liked them. They were always telling jokes. They were sports. They kept on the move, and I liked the life. And I knew I could kid people and sell things. But the hitch was getting the railroad fare to the big town. So I told Molly Arlington my trouble. She was the madam of the cat house, and she liked me. She laughed, and she said, "Sure, kid, I'll bet on you. I'll stake you. Why, with that grin and that line of bull, you ought to be able to sell skunks for good ratters." Oh, I liked Molly. She gave me confidence in myself. And I paid her back, too. I remember the first dough I ever earned. I wrote her a kidding letter saying I was peddling baby carriages, and she and the girls ought to take advantage of our bargain offer. Yeah, but that's getting ahead of my story. Last night, before I left town, I had a date with Evelyn. We got all worked up. Couldn't help it. She was so pretty and sweet and good. So I told her straight, "You better forget me, Evelyn. For your own sake, I'm no good and I never will be. I'm not fit to wipe your shoes." And I broke down and I cried. And she said, looking all white and scared, "Why, Teddy, don't you love me anymore?" And I said, "Love you? God, Evelyn, I love you more than anything in the world." And she said, "But that's all that matters, Teddy, because nothing but death can stop my loving you. So I'll wait
And when you're ready, you send for me and we'll get married. And I'll make you happy, Teddy. And when you're happy, you won't want to do any of the bad things you've done anymore. And I said, of course I won't, Evelyn. And I meant it. I believed it. I loved her so much she could make me believe anything.
Get it off your chest, you long-winded bastard. You caught her cheating with the Iceman and you croaked her. And who the hell cares?
So I beat it to the big town. I got a job easy, see, and for me it was a cinch to make good. I had the knack. It was like a game, sizing people up real quick, spotting what their pet pipe dreams were, and then kidding them along that line, pretending you believed what they wanted to believe about themselves. And then they liked you. They trusted you, and they wanted to buy something to show their gratitude. Ah, God, it was fun. Yeah, still all the while I feel guilty, as if I shouldn't be having such a good time away from Evelyn. So in each of my letters, I'd tell her how I'd missed her. But I'd warn her, too. I'd tell her all my faults, how I liked my booze, and so on. But nothing could shake her faith in me or her dreams of the future. And after each of her letters, well, I'd be as full of faith as she was. So after I got enough dough saved to get us started off right, I sent for her, and we got married. Oh, God. Wasn't I happy for a while? And wasn't she happy? Now, look, I don't care what anyone says. I'll bet there was never two people more in love than me and Evelyn. Not only then, but always after, in spite of everything I did. Well, it's all there at the start, everything that happened afterwards. I never could learn to handle temptation. I'd want to reform, and I'd mean it. I'd promise myself, I'd promise Evelyn, I'd tell her it's the last time. And she'd say, I know it's the last time, Teddy. You'll never do it again. Well, that's what made it so hard. It's what made me feel such a guilty skunk, her always forgiving me. My playing around with women, for instance. It was only a harmless good time to me. It didn't mean anything. But I knew what it meant to Evelyn, so I'd say to myself, never again. But you know how it is, traveling around. Those damn lousy hotel rooms. I get so I see things in the wallpaper. Lonely and homesick. But at the same time, sick of home, too. I'd feel free. I want to celebrate a little. Well, I never did do any drinking on the job, so it had to be dames. Any tart. What I'd want was some tramp I could be myself with without being ashamed. Someone I could tell a dirty joke to and she'd laugh.
Jeez. All the lousy jokes I had to listen to and pretend was funny.
Well, sometimes I'd try a joke I thought was a corker on Evelyn. She'd make herself laugh, but I could see she thought it was dirty, not funny. And she always knew about the tarts I'd been with when I'd come home from a trip. She'd kiss me and look in my eyes, and she'd know. And I'd look in her eyes and see how she was trying not to know and then saying to herself, well, even if it's true, he couldn't help it. He hasn't got me and he's lonely. They tempt him. It's only his body. Anyway, he doesn't love them. I'm the only one he loves. And she was right. I never loved anyone else. I couldn't if I wanted to. Well, she even forgave me when it all had to come out in the open. You know how it is when you keep on taking chances. You get lucky for a while, but you get nicked in the end. I picked up a nail from some tart in Altoona.
Yeah. And she picked it up from some guy. That's all in game with the hell out of it.
Well, I had to do an awful lot of lying and stalling when I got home, but it didn't do any good. The quack I went to got all my dough, and then he told me I was cured, but I wasn't. And poor Evelyn. But anyway, she did her best to make me believe she fell for my lie about how traveling men get things from drinking cups on trains. Anyway, she forgave me the same way she'd forgive me when I'd show up from one of my periodical drunks.
And you all know what I'd be like at the end of one of those. You've seen me. Like something lying in a gutter no alley cat would lower itself to drag in. Like something they throw out of the DT ward at Bellevue along with the garbage. Like something that ought to be dead. And isn't.
Well, Evelyn wouldn't have heard from me in a month or more. She'd have been waiting there alone at home with the next-door neighbors shaking their heads and feeling sorry for her out loud. That is, before she got me to move to the outskirts, where there weren't any next-door neighbors. And then one day, the door would open. And in I'd stumble, looking like what I said, into her home, which I kept so spotless and clean, and I had promised it would never happen again, and here I was, swearing again. It's the last time. And I could see disgust having a battle in her eyes with love. But love always went out. She'd kiss me as though nothing happened, as though I'd just come home from a business trip. Well, Christ, can you imagine the guilty skunk she made me feel? If she only admitted once that she didn't believe any more in her pipe dream that someday I'd behave, but she never would. Evelyn was stubborn as hell. Once she'd set her heart on anything, you couldn't shake her faith that it had to come true tomorrow. Well, it's the same old story over and over for years and years. Kept piling up inside her and inside me. God, can you picture all I made her suffer and all the guilt she made me feel and how I hated myself? If she only hadn't been so damn good, if she'd been the kind of a wife I was a husband, God, I'd even pray sometimes I'd say to her, go on, why don't you, Evelyn? I wouldn't mind. Serve me right. I'd forgive you. No. Oh, only I'd pretend I was kidding. Yeah. Like I used to kid her about her being in the hay with the Iceman. She'd have been so hurt if I said it seriously. She'd have thought I stopped loving her. Hey, I bet you think I'm kidding, huh? That no woman could have stood what she stood and still loved me so much? That it isn't human for any woman to be so pitying and forgiving? Well, I'm not kidding. And if you'd ever seen it, you'd know it was written all over her face. Sweetness and love, pity and forgiveness. Wait, I'll show you. I always carry her picture. Yeah. Oh, no. I'm forgetting. I tore it up afterwards. I didn't need it anymore.
I burned up Mother's picture, Larry. Her eyes followed me all the time. They seemed to be wishing I was dead.
Well, it kept piling up, like I said, inside her and inside me. I got so I thought of it all the time. I got so I hated myself more and more, thinking of all the wrong I'd done to the sweetest woman in the world who loved me so much. I even caught myself calling myself a lousy bastard every time I saw myself in the mirror. And I felt such pity for her. It drove me crazy. You wouldn't believe it, would you, Larry, that a guy like me who's knocked around so much could feel such pity? And it got so I wound up every night with my face buried in her lap, bawling and begging for forgiveness. And of course, she'd always say, it's all right, Teddy. I know you won't ever again. Oh, Christ. Christ, I loved her so. When I began to hate that pipe dream, I began to think I was going bughouse. Because I couldn't forgive her for forgiving me. I even caught myself hating her for making me hate myself so much. I tell you, there is a limit to the guilt you can feel and the forgiveness and pity you can take. You've got to begin blaming someone else, too. And I got so sometimes when she'd kiss me, it was as though she did it on purpose to humiliate me. As though she spit in my face.
And then I'd see how rotten to me that was, and it only made me hate myself all the more. You'd never believe it, would you, Larry? That a good-natured, happy-go-lucky slob like me could hate so much. And as the time got near, when I was due to come here for my drunk around Harry's birthday, I got nearly crazy. I kept swearing to her every night that this time I really wouldn't, until I made it a real final test to myself and to Evelyn. And of course, she'd encourage me and say, I know you won't this time, Teddy. You'll conquer it, dear. And we'll be so happy, dear. Well, when she'd say that and kiss me, I'd believe it, too. And then she'd go upstairs to bed, and I'd stay up alone because I didn't want to disturb her tossing and rolling around. And I'd get so damn lonely. And I'd think how peaceful it was here, sitting around with the old gang, getting drunk and forgetting love, laughing and joking and singing and telling lies. And finally, I knew I'd have to come. And I knew if I came this time, it was the finish. Because I'd never have the guts to go back and be forgiven again. And that would break poor Evelyn's heart. Because to her it would mean I didn't love her anymore. Well, that last night, I'd driven myself nearly crazy trying to figure a way out for her. I went in the bedroom. I was going to tell her it was the end. But I couldn't do it. She was sound asleep. And I thought to myself, oh, God, if she never wakes up, she'll never know. And then it came to me. The one possible way out for her sake. I remember I'd given her a gun for her protection while I was away, and it was in the bureau drawer. She'd never feel any pain. She'd never wake up from that dream. So?
Give us a rest. Okay.
So I killed her.
There's no use lying anymore. You know the truth anyway. It was because I hated her.
And then I saw I'd always known that was the only possible way to give her peace and free her from the misery of loving me. And I saw it meant peace for me, too, knowing she was at peace. And I felt as if a ton of guilt had been lifted off my mind. I remember I looked down at the bed, and suddenly I had to laugh. I couldn't help it. And I knew Evelyn would forgive me. And I remember speaking to her as if it was something I always wanted to say. Well, you know what you can do with your pipe dream now? You damn bitch!
Oh.
Oh, no. No, I never.
Yes, that's it. Her and the old movement pipe dream, eh, Larry?
No. No, I never said that's a lie. But I loved Evelyn. More than anything in life, I must have gone insane to say that to her. Oh, boys. Boys! You're my old pals. You don't know Hickey for years. You know I never... Harry? Harry! You know Hickey longer than anyone. You know I must have gone insane, don't you, Governor?
Who the hell? Insane? You mean you really went insane?
Yes. I couldn't have said that to her. I couldn't have laughed.
That's enough, Hickman. Now you know who we are. You're under arrest, so come along and spill your guts where we can get it on paper.
Oh, wait a minute, officer. You owe me a break on phone and made it easy for you, didn't I? Just a few minutes. Harry, you know I couldn't have said that to Evelyn unless
I've been crazy ever since. Everything you've said and done to your...
Oh, now, Governor, up to your old tricks again, eh? I know what you're driving at, but I'm not going to let you get away with it. Yeah. I've been crazy ever since. Everything I said and done here. You saw I was insane, didn't you, Governor?
can it. I had enough of your act. Save it for the jury. Now, listen, you guys. Don't fall for his lies. He's getting a little foxy now. Thinks he'll plead insanity. He can't get away with it.
You dumb dick. You've got a crust trying to tell us about Hickey? Why, we've known him for years. Every one of us noticed he was nutty when he first came here. If you saw all the crazy bull he was pulling about bringing us peace, like a bunkhouse preacher escaped from an asylum, if you've seen all the crazy things he made us do. We only did them because, well, we thought he'd come out of it if we kidded him and humored him. Ain't that right, fellas?
Yeah, sure. A fine bunch of rats covering up for a dirty, cold-blooded murderer.
Is that so? Well, you heard the old story of when St. Patrick drove the snakes out of Ireland. They swam to New York and joined the police force. We can believe that now when we look at you. Can't we, fellas?
Sure, you cockeyed old bum for a plug nickel like... Come on, you.
Oh, I want to go, officer. I should have phoned you from the house right afterward. It was a waste of time, my coming here. I've got to tell Evan. Yep. But I know she's forgiven me. She knows I was insane. You got me all wrong, officer. I want to go to the chair. Crap. Oh, God, you're a dumb dick. Well, you bonehead, I haven't got a single damned lying hope or pipe dream left. I gotta move on.
All I want you to see is I was out of my mind afterward when I left. I was a raving, rotten lunatic, or I couldn't have said that to her. Well, I loved Evelyn better than anything on God's earth. I'd have killed her.
Don't worry, Hickey. They can't give you the chair. We'll all testify you was crazy. Won't we, fellas? Sure. He's gone. The poor, crazy son of a bitch. Gee, I need a drink. Maybe we'll have some of the old kick in it now that he's gone.
Yeah, boss. Maybe we can get drunk now.
May the chair bring him peace at last. Poor, tortured bastard.
Yes. But he isn't the only one who needs peace, Larry. I can't feel sorry for him. He's lucky. He's through now. It's all decided for him. I wish it was decided for me. You're the only one who can understand how guilty I am. Because you know her. And you know what I've done to her. You know I'm really much guiltier than he is. You know what I did is a much worse murder. Because she's dead. And yet she has to live. For a while. But she can't live long in jail. She loves freedom too much. If I can't kid myself like Hickey that she's at peace, as long as she lives, she'll never be able to forget what I've done to her. Not even in her sleep, she'll never have a second's peace. Jesus, Larry! Can't you say something? And I'm not putting up any bluff now, either. That I was crazy afterwards when I left, and I thought to myself, well, you know what you can do with your freedom pipe dream now, don't you, damned old bitch?
Go! Get the hell out of life before I choke it out of you. Go on, go on, go on!
Thanks, Larry. I just wanted to be sure. I can see now that that's the only possible way I can ever get free from her. I guess I've really known that all my life.
And go on. For the love of God. Mad, tortured bastard. For your own sake.
Jesus, Larry. That's kind. I just knew you were the only one who could understand my side of it.
Hello, little Don. Little monkey face. Don't be a fool. Buy me a drink.
Sure I will, Hugo.
I will.
Tomorrow. Beneath the willow trees.
Stupid fool! Oh, Hickey makes you crazy, too. I'm glad to take this crazy Hickey away to the asylum. He makes me have bad dreams, Larry. He makes me tell lies about myself. He makes me want to spit on all I've ever dreamed. Oh. I'm glad they take him to that asylum. I don't feel I'm dying anymore, Larry. He was selling death to me, that crazy salesman. I think I have a drink now.
Fellas, I'm beginning to feel the old kicker I'm a liar. It's putting life back into me. Gee, if all I've lapped up hits me, I'll be paralyzed before I know it. You know, it was Hickey that kept it from... Yeah, but sure, that's crazy. But he was crazy, and he'd have had all of us bunkhouse too. Look at me, pretending to start for a walk, just to keep him quiet, when I knew damned well it wasn't the right day for it. Sure, the sun was scorching, and the streets were full of automobiles. You know, I could feel myself getting sunstroke, and an automobile damn nearly ran over me. Ask Rocky here, he's seen it. Now, didn't you, Rocky?
What's that, boss? Hey, gee, all that booze I mopped up is beginning to get me. The automobile boss. Sure, I seen it. Just missed you. I thought you was a goner. I'm the white of an honest bartender.
Oh, you're a bartender, all right. Nobody can say different to that. But don't pull that honest junk. You and Chuck should have cards in the burglars' union. Isn't it grand to hear laughter here once again? You know, all the time that poor old Hickey was here, you know, I didn't have the heart. So, fellas, it's on the house. So, Hickey, good luck to him in Marawan. Bottoms up.
Marawan! Why, Doris? Why don't you what? Don't be a fool. Hickey's gone. He was crazy. You have a drink. What's the matter, lady? You look funny. What do you listen to out in the backyard?
Well, I thank God me and Chuck did all we could to humor that poor nut. Ooh. Imagine us going off like we really was going to get married. We ain't even picked out the farm yet.
Sure thing, baby. And we kidded him. We were serious.
I may say I detected this condition almost at once. All that nonsense about tomorrow, for example. He had the fixed idea of the insane. Only makes them worse to cross them.
Same with me, Jimmy. Only I spent the day in the park. I wasn't damn fool enough.
Picture my predicament if I had gone to the consulate. Well, that pal of mine there is a humorous blighter. He would have found me a job out of pure spite. So I strolled about and finally came to roost in the park. And who should I find on a neighboring bench but my old battlefield companion, the boa that walks like a man, who, if the British government had taken my advice, would have been removed from his fettered kraal on the veldt straight to the baboon's cage in the London Zoo. And little children would now be asking their nurses, "Tell me, Nana, is that the boa general, the one with the blue behind?" Hey, well, there's no offense meant, you don't say what?
No offense taken, you lousy limey. You know, about our job, I feel just like Caesar.
What's the matter, Eddie? You look scared. What do you listen to out there?
No, sir. I wasn't fool enough to get in no crap game. Not while Hickey was around. Crazy people put a jinx on you.
I know you know how it is, Ed. Oh, it's no good trying to tell a crazy man it ain't the right time. You know how it is about getting reinstated.
Ah, sure, Mac. Same way with the circus. You know, the boys are telling me the Rubes are wasting all their money buying food. Times was never so bad. I was never one to cheat for chicken feed, huh?
I think I'm getting cockeyed. I think you're a roll cockeyed. Come on, drink up, boys.
What's the matter, man? Why you keep your eyes shut?
You look dead.
What do you listen to out in the backyard? You crazy fool! You was crazy like Hickey! You give me the bad dreams, too!
Oh, there you go! Welcome to the bar!
You go, sit down. Have a drink. Have 10 drinks.
Hello, little Eddie! Hello, nice, funny little monkey face! Rotten damn bushma! Soon comes the day of judgment! Give me 10 drinks, Eddie! Don't be a fool!
Can't wait for 2 good holes.
Yeah, we want to drink, quick.
Yeah, shake the light out of your pants, Tim. How about a little pint?
Oh, look who's here. Hello there, sweetheart. Gee, I was beginning to worry about you, honest.
What is this
Oh,
again?
girls, come in. I'm delighted to see you. Sit down, have a drink.
Oh, what's come off here, huh?
Where's that lost Hickey?
The cops got him. He gone crazy and croaked his wife. He'll get mad at one. He ain't responsible. What he pulled don't mean a thing. So forget that hooer stuff, see? I'll not to block up anyone that calls you hooers. I'm full of bastard, full of lead. You're tough. So what the hell of it? You're as good as anyone, see? Don't forget it, see?
Ah, that's our little bartender. But he got nothing on us, huh? Wow, do we have a diamond calling?
All the way out for him. For the peace of all concerned, as Hickey says. Damn his yellow soul, he doesn't soon, I'll go up and throw him off like a dog his guts ripped out. You put out of misery.
Hey, what's that?
Oh, nothing. Something fell off the fire escape. A mattress, I'll bet. Some of these bums have been sleeping on a fire escape.
They better cut that out now. This is no fresh air cure.
Stop cramming up the party, Harry. Let's drink up, huh? Yeah.
Poor brother. God rest his soul in peace. The damn pity again, the wrong kind, as Hickey says. There's no hope for me. I'll never be a success in the grandstand or anywhere else. Life is too much for me. I'll be a weak fool looking with pity at the two sides of everything until the day I die. And may that day come soon. I'm the only real convert to death that Hickey's made here. From the bottom of my coward's heart, I mean that now.
Harry, what you doing over there by yourself? Come on, get paralyzed. Fellas, I feel like singing. Let's all sing.